Hey, how's it going, Dean? Yeah, I kind of like the other guys before, a couple guys before. I like some of his ideas or actions. I don't like how people pin like a whole person. Like Trump might have some good ideas, same with Biden. But what I do like about Trump, like I do support, is like the immigration. I'm from Minnesota. I mean, I don't think immigration is necessarily bad, but I think for the last 15 years, it's just been out of control. Like there's no oversight. You know, we're bringing people over from other countries, but we have no way to, I guess, let's see, integrate them into our country. Like they don't have to lose their culture, but for example, I went to St. Cloud 10 years ago. We got about 80,000 Somalis come in, which is fine. Don't get me wrong, but they came in like in 2 years, like a way too fast of a time, in my opinion, for us to know what to do with them as far as like integrating and whatnot. And there's just a bunch of crimes that would happen every week. And I don't have like proof now, but when I was
So
in
you'd say that
school, I'd
like
get
immigrants
emails every
are
weekend.
more criminal?
I don't think they're more criminal. I just think that if people come from a different background, they're raised differently, and they come here, and we expect them to just, I guess, I don't know, I don't know if assimilate is the right word, but they just, oh man, now I'm so nervous. I don't know how people do this. The other people sound so less nervous to me. But my point is basically, I think we
I
let people in without like oversight and making sure that they're following the rules. If that makes sense. Not all of them are bad, but we allow a lot of it to happen.
so the whole assimilation thing. I don't think that immigrants should assimilate to whatever quote unquote American culture is, because they're clearly better than it if they're not assimilating, according to your argument. They're
Yeah.
2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes, 3 times less likely to commit property crimes, 3.5 times less likely to commit petty crimes, more
Mhm.
likely to disproportionately pay more in taxes, less likely to take out social safety nets and benefits from any level of government. They seem
For sure.
like stand up representations of what citizens should look like. I'm just confused here with what the detriment is that you perceive they purport to this country. The true detriment that we should all perceive that is being purported to this country is having a president that's okay to cast the Constitution out the window, the laws out the window, human rights out the window, deport people with no due process, take birthright citizenship away from citizens born here, defend the murder of citizens on the streets of this country, call for the execution of Democrats in Congress. That is the quote unquote culture that I don't think should be upheld in the Oval Office, and quite frankly, shouldn't be upheld by anyone human in America or anywhere across the globe.
For sure. I guess I might have worded it not the way I wanted to. Um, what I was trying to say is I think if you bring any group of people that are from third world country, and just because they're from a third world country doesn't mean that they're not smart or anything. It just like they didn't have the advantages we had. And so if you bring a bunch of people in, like say 100,000 of any race into a new culture, new country, and you don't like, I think they just overdid it. If that makes sense, I think they're going too fast of a rate. Maybe I'm wrong in that sense. Like I believe your stats are
I just
right, but I
just
think it
don't
can
even
also
know what you're saying here. Like you're saying, oh, like somehow Somali immigrants hurt America. I don't know how though. How do Somali immigrants hurt America?
not how they're in America. I just think there was like God dang, how do people do this? I'm so nervous. You know
Also, it's
what?
like the Somali immigrants in Minnesota were here on a protection plan with quote unquote amnesty, more so asylum, that was authorized by Trump in his first term. So they're legal immigrants, my friend.
For sure, for sure.
So you're
I'm just
banking
going
on
off
Trump
personal.
deporting legal immigrants from America?
No, I don't know the right solution. I just think it was done too fast and
But like,
just
is this what you're
people.
supporting Trump over? Like, I just to be clear, like, why do you support
Mhm.
Trump?
I think accountability, and he might be going about it wrong, but I like that he's the first president to at least talk about the accountability of immigration. Like when I hear the left talk about it, it's it's basically just there's no middle ground on each side. So I guess what I want to ask you is like, do you think
Wait, what
there's
does he
like would
say?
you
What does he
allow
say
all
about
immigration?
immigrants? What does he say about immigrants that makes you support him?
Nothing personally what he says, more so the actor just trying to like
Okay,
him at
what
least bringing it to
specific
light
actions
that
is he engaging in that makes you support him?
just like the whole deportation has been going on the last few months. Obviously, there's been some
What is
bad
one
instances,
positive
but
outcome of mass deportation on this country?
when you say mass, are you talking about like overdoing it, like more than just the rape? Or sorry, I can't say certain words. The bad people.
I'm just no. I'm asking you a question. What's one positive outcome of Trump's mass deportation that has been beneficial for this country?
Less crime. I believe if you, I mean, maybe your stats will like counter. counter mine, but from what I've read, and it's tough to find accurate information, the crime has gone down. Obviously, legal immigrants or people of legal status getting kicked out, that's not good. I'm not saying like we need to have that happen to get rid of the bad people. It's unfortunate, but there are some positive sides to it. And, I think America being first, we want to make sure that if we're allowing people over, they're not going to be harming our own citizens. I'm not saying every immigrant can do that, but we should at least have I don't know, programs or something in place just to check in on the immigrants. To not like check. I don't know. That sounds bad. I don't want to say like check in, but just to make sure that we're doing it at a controlled rate. Because in St. Cloud, I would get emails all the time every weekend because the school had
Right,
to like
David
report all
Levelship.
the crimes on campus, and every single one of them said like Somali descent, Somali descent. Now that's just a small like sample. So I'm not saying that's the whole world, but in St. Cloud, we're kind of a small town, and we got 100,000 new immigrants within like 2 or 4 years. So I think it just overloaded the system. The people, the police, and the community didn't know how to handle it. And I don't think it's because the immigrants are bad. I just think we didn't have a good plan for them, if that makes sense. We didn't set them up right.
Okay, time for my response. Your
Yes,
argument
sir.
is one positive outcome of mass deportation so far has been less crime. Your argument for that, more so your evidence for that, was the fact that crime rates have gone down. I
Mhm.
agree that crime has gone down. I don't agree that that was caused by Trump's mass deportation. Rather, I'd argue that it's merely a continuation of a trend that we've seen since 2022. Crime fell 10% from 2022 to 2023. Crime fell 14% from 2023 to 2024. Then crime
Mhm.
fell 16% from 2024 to 2025. And then we just saw a continuation of that trend from 2025 to 2026. Okay? I'd actually
Okay.
argue that deportation has an upward pressure on crime rates. I'd expect crime to go up. Why? A, when we look at the rates, we'd expect them to go up because undocumented immigrants commit crimes at lower rates. You remove them from the country, you're removing a demographic of people who are less likely to commit crimes than everybody else. So on paper, crime rates will go up. End of story. I'd also expect nominal crimes to go up because it is the case that
Mhm.
deportation has a destabilizing effect on our economy. Last year, we got the worst jobs report since '03, ignoring recessions, most manufactured bankruptcy since the Great Recession, 1.3 million layoffs, highest level of unemployment since the pandemic. Last month in February, we lost 90,000 jobs, 6 standard deviations below the expectation of adding 60,000. These facts destabilize the economy. These facts increase poverty. And if you know anything about anything, you also know that poverty increases crime. So that's actually why I would
True.
argue that deportation has an upward pressure on crime. And if Donald Trump did not do his deportation to the extent in which he has, we would see a larger drop in crime than we did.
For sure. And I actually like that point you brought up. Have you by chance like looked into like previous presidents that have had like similar immigration policies and like compare that theory that crime will go up? Like, do you have? I'm not going to hold you to it, but do you think it'll go up in a year or two? Because you're saying it's down now, but
Well,
you think that it's actually going to go
the
worse?
argument is that it's an upward pressure.
Hmm.
All right. So, like, there's been more downward pressures than upward pressures in 2025. Therefore, as a result, crime rates net went down. Okay. But because deportation has still been an upward pressure on crime rates, what I'd argue here is that if we didn't do the deportation, then crime rates would have went down more than they did.
Oh, I see. I see. Like basically, I mean, it's one of those hypotheticals. Like, because we already did deport, so we will never know. But you're saying if we never did, it just would have gone down a little more. Like it's already on the trend
Yeah.
going down, and
Yeah. And
Trump
by
just
the
kind
way,
of jumped in and took
By the
credit
way,
for it or
if
something.
you care
Okay,
about
okay.
crime and you want to reduce crime, then never put a
Yeah.
criminal in the White House. Donald Trump is an adjudicated rapist, 34 count felon. He's also been held civilly liable for, lying about the valuation of his properties to banks. He's been held civilly liable for defrauding his own university. He intentionally concealed classified documents at his private estate at Mar-a-Lago. He committed one of the most
Hmm.
heinous criminal actions that we've seen from any president ever with J6. And then he gave full and complete presidential pardons to all the people that tried to kill cops in the process. He let them roam free in the streets. Those people that he pardoned, let out of jail, have now been pedophiles, being predators. Like two of them. One of them has been rearrested for child sexual assault. Another one of them, Jake Lang, just got exposed for grooming a minor. Okay.
Yeah.
On top of the lawlessness that we've seen right from the White House with defying Congress, breaking federal law, refusing to act in obedience with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. the lawlessness with giving illegal orders to the military, violating the Constitution, so on and so forth. Those are all crimes too, dude. So if you want less crime, don't put a criminal in the White House.
Oh no, understandable. I definitely like don't agree with all those things that Trump does. Like I said, I don't try to attach the things I do like about him to him. It's kind of like it is what it is. We have him as president. Same thing with Biden as president. I try to find ideas that I like.
But is there anything that Trump could do that would lead you to the conclusion that I do not support his administration?
No, no. I don't think, at least as of now, the way the system's set up, and I think you'd agree, it seems like it's just left versus right. Everyone just wants to fight each other. But I truly believe both sides have great ideas, and I don't watch you all the time, so correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of times I see like you like the rock people, which is fine. It's good content, but at least from what I've seen, I don't ever see you too much try to find like a middle ground, try to like say, hey,
Yeah,
Trump's a piece of shit, but these two laws are good.
Because so many of the things that we talk about here are just fact versus fiction, so it's hard to find a middle ground.
Mhm.
But can you please answer my question? What is one thing Trump could
Okay.
do that would make you stop supporting his administration?
Oh, I wouldn't say I supported. I mean, I do. I guess it is what it is. Like I support some of his ideas. What? Okay, what do you mean?
But
what are
overall,
some
do you
things?
support him as president?
No, I guess I. What
Okay.
I the reason why I'm stumbling is because I see bad things about like, the Clintons, the Trumps. I don't even
Okay.
know what's real, to be honest.
Okay, but it's possible for you to not support the Clintons or Trump. So overall, do you support Trump as
Yeah.
president? Oh,
Uh,
scratch on my back. Jesus.
I would say, ask me 3 months ago, I was for sure. I'm still 50-50. I do believe, like the counts. When you say the criminal counts, like I'm confused by it, and
Could you
then you
just
could
tell me,
probably
just
explain it
overall, do you
better.
support his administration?
I want to say yes, but I know you're going to bring up something I probably haven't read. I'm like, damn, you're probably
Okay,
no.
so the
I
answer to
probably
the question
don't.
is yes. So what is one thing Trump could do to make you stop supporting his administration?
I would say the Epstein files not being released by like the end of the year. That would be. I mean, I expected it sooner, and I'm glad that he at least is doing something. I know people are thinking he's part of it. He probably could be. I honestly have no idea. I feel like we're kind of in a big circus show sometimes, and we won't find out till later. Kind of like a lot of the declassified FBI
Okay. So if
files.
they
We
don't
don't find
release
out
the
30
Epstein
years
files,
later.
that's it.
Yeah, if he doesn't release, I mean, that's a big part why I voted for him. I mean,
So
obviously,
then you
there's a
should
lot of
stop
things.
supporting Trump today because literally a month ago, Pam Bondi from the DOJ said that they were done releasing Epstein files and they still have 3 million more to go. You should no longer be a Trump supporter in consideration of your argument.
For sure. That's what I was saying
Right?
till the
So
end of the
do you
year.
no longer support his administration because of that?
Yeah, I got to, okay. I don't want to get too conspiracy, and this does not have anything to do with Trump. I want to know your thoughts on this. I'm curious why they stopped releasing some. Obviously, Trump might be
dude,
part of it,
dude,
but
I'm sorry. I'll happily answer that question after you respond to the
okay,
argument. Like, think about it this way.
yeah,
Imagine that there's like one of your grandma's in hospice, and she has a
mhm,
caretaker. And I'm asking you, what is one thing that caretaker could do that would make you stop supporting them as your grandma's caretaker? And then you say, well, if they were to like stop giving, if they didn't give my grandma water by the end of the day, all right.
mhm,
So then your argument is
right,
you'll stop supporting this caretaker if they don't give your grandma water by the end of the day. And then I bring up the fact that your caretaker literally said that they are not going to give your grandma water by the end of the day. Because the day's not over, and the fact that the caretaker literally said that they're not going to give water to your grandma by the end of the day, you should stop supporting that caretaker now, right?
mhm.
Right? Yes or no?
Yes, no, I see what you're saying. I think
Okay.
I
And then
know exactly what
your
you're
standard
saying.
was that you'd stop supporting the Trump administration if they don't release the files by the end of the year. Pam Bondi literally said that she wasn't going to release the Epstein files by the end of the year. That she said that they were all done. So therefore, you should stop supporting the Trump administration right now. I just want an affirmation of the notion that you no longer support Trump, or a denial of the notion that you no longer support Trump. That's what I want. I just want to be clear.
I see what you're saying. I will. Okay, I will deny him. I was a huge supporter, so maybe it's tougher for me to say that. But no, I would say I do not support him. Pam Bondi said that, and I didn't see that. So thank you for sharing that with me.
Okay, so you don't
And
support the
also,
Trump administration. You don't support Trump.
no, I support maybe like three things he's done: the
Okay,
immigration, and I was
overall, you don't support the administration, right?
yeah.
Because you said
Overall, I'd say
overall. Okay, perfect. I
yep.
appreciate
No,
you for
you're
coming
you're
up.
right. Mhm.
Appreciate you for coming up. Now, I understand that you're very conflicted about his policy, like his immigration policy. You shouldn't support his
Yes.
immigration policy. And I'm sure that you will hear many debates on this live stream where we go over his immigration policy, and maybe those debates will help quell kind of some of your concerns as well that relate to it. Now, if you want to ask maybe one last question, get my thoughts on his
Yeah.
immigration
Just
policy, or make one last claim about why you think it's good, I'll happily respond to it. But then after that, I'm going to move on to the
okay.
next guest because you just
No,
said that
that's
you would
fair.
love to
Thanks for
support
the
the Trump
time, man.
administration. Yeah.
What would you say is like okay? So you don't like Trump, which is fine, and like, you do a great job debating, and I appreciate that. What was like obviously there's not a perfect candidate, but who's someone you really would like in the next time around that would? Because I feel like the left, like Harris. I mean, I know you support her over Trump, but do you truly think she was the best choice? I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong in that. But who do you think would be the best choice on the left side? That would be yeah.
The best choice on the left side would be Pete Buttigieg, given that he adopted
Okay.
everything that James Tallarico stands for. Right now, I think that's the best choice. Pete Buttigieg has some very obvious and immediate issues, right? Like he's a little bit too much, too little like establishment Democrat, too pro-Israel. It has a lot of really good things to say, but at the same time, kind of like is really hesitant with the more progressive issues. You know that. I mean, if you're in
Yeah.
politics, you know that. But
One quick last
if
thing,
Pete
just oh
Buttigieg
sorry.
were to adopt everything that James Tallarico stands for, with super progressive, anti-PAC, anti-lobbyist, so on and so forth, that I think he could really win. That's the first one, and then the
Okay.
second one, and I really like the second one, AOC. I love AOC.
Okay, nothing against AOC, but I'm sure you've seen her viral clips where like probably sounds like me right now in the live. Like she doesn't debate necessarily all the best, and I know that might just be like, in a spotlight. She had three bad or four bad, you know, captures of her. Just I don't know. I've seen a couple of her debates. I'm like this lady doesn't seem like she can debate too well. Just because you can't debate doesn't mean you're smart. But why do you think AOC? Like, I mean, do you know what I'm talking about, or maybe not?
I mean, everyone's gonna have a clip where they kind of look dumb. Okay, I'm sure I have
For
a
sure,
clip where I kind of look dumb. Everyone does that talks all day in front of an audience. All right,
for sure.
but I think that she's incredibly intelligent, and
Okay.
99% of the time she makes perfect sense, and she is cooking when she's making perfect sense. I want somebody who understands the threat of Israel. I want somebody who understands the threat of PACs, dark PACs, and dark
Okay.
money inside of PACs. I want somebody who understands the threat of lobbyists. I want somebody who understands the threat of the Citizen United decision. I want somebody who understands the threat of the ruling elite and the billionaire ruling class. And I want somebody who understands the threat of the impending housing crisis and increasing costs for the average Americans, for the average American. And I
Mm.
think that someone is AOC. I think that someone is a James Tallarico. I think that someone is a Zoran Mamdani. I think that someone is the more progressive shining stars in the Democratic Party today.
For sure. And then this is gonna be one last question. It'll be really quick, and I'll help you out because I'm trying to find your Venmo, and I can obviously see it up top. When I type in that exact like tag, there's like three people with your like you know what I mean? Who's who? Like, how do I know which one's you?
Oh my God, yeah. There's so many fake accounts on Venmo and PayPal. It's unreal. Like those other accounts, they actually get a very large portion of the donations. You'd be surprised. So
Hmm.
this live stream is like sustaining the livelihood of like five fake deans. It's kind of unreal. In the link tree in my
Yeah.
bio, there's just straight up links to my Venmo and my PayPal. So you don't have to like type in a handle or ask any question
Or
there. It
like
just
go on
links you
your
over to the right one. Yeah.
profile. I don't think you
It'll
can do that
just
through the live. I think you
I'll
have to
just
leave
send you
that to
right to the
go.
profile. But appreciate you for coming up,
Okay.
man, and I hope this conversation helped you clear your mind. I'm sorry if I came off a little bit too hostile or combative.
Dude, you're totally fine, man. You're a great debater. You have a good one, man. Thanks for the perspective. Have a good
Yeah,
one.
you take care. You take care. Let's go to move on to the next guest, you guys. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. I think that my issue, you guys, is coming off way too combative to people who don't deserve that combativeness. Because I just got done with like 4 conversations in a row, where it's like literally talking to like evil rocks. So I mean, it's really hard for me to like switch my mental state from talking to evil dumbass rocks to like more reasonable person who just wants to learn on a dime. So what you'll see very often, this happens all the time, is some like more reasonable person who just wants to have a good conversation coming up, and then like for the first 5 to 10 minutes of the conversation, I'm a little bit more combative with him than I should be. Welcome back.
Hi. Okay. Thank you.
Before we hop
So,
into it, I just have a couple people to thank, and then I'm gonna pass you that mic. Okay?
sounds good.
All right. I appreciate you for your patience. You've been very, very patient. Over on Super Chat, Area. Thank you so much for the $40. I really appreciate you so much for that love. Area with a $40 says, hey, man, I hope you're doing well, as well as hi to everyone in the chat. Area, thank you so much for the $40, man. I hope that you're having a great day. I'm doing well. I hope that you're doing well as well as I hope that you're enjoying the stream. That is incredibly kind of you, and I'm very, very grateful for the love. $40 is a shit ton of money, man, and just know that I'm very grateful. Let's go ahead and show some love to Area down below. That is AREA. As well as Juan, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Appreciate you so much for that love, man. And Sunny, thank you so much for the $50 donation on Venmo. Yo, bro, let's get 500 Sunny W's down below. That is so fucking kind of you. Holy moly. Sunny with a 50 says, I've been trying to get my extremely MAGA mother to debate you, but she won't because you're quote-unquote too smart. Oh, man. But I fear that if anyone can change your mind, it will be you. Appreciate all that you do, Dean. Sunny, please tell your mother that I would like to have a really good, really healthy, really, productive conversation with her where I won't be, vindictive or rude or mean. I would love to talk to your mother, Sunny. I know that you've been watching for, a very long time now, so I would love to do that for you. Thank you for the $50, as always. Thank you so much. Please show some love to Sunny down below. As well as Katie and Clara, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. And then Ryan, thank you so much for the $20, who says, I like to share my sources for arguments with MAGA with details you don't seem to have. Do you have an email I could send them to? Yes, Linktree in bio. I'd love that. Ryan, thank you for the $20. As well as Brooke, thank you for the $20, who says, how the hell did they pretzel themselves to believe this crap? I wish I was that flexible. Keep it up. Well, thank you so much, Brooke. I know they pretzel themselves into so much bullshit every day. It's crazy. Thank you so much for the love. We're all caught up on Super Chat and Venmo. Over on PayPal, Miss Serena. Good to see you. I think this is the 4th or 5th day in a row. That is SERENA. Show someone to Serena for the $20 donation. Thank you so much for your kindness. Serena says, just got off work, already relieved from all the stress from work, just seeing your live. Well, I'm happy that the live streams help you out, Serena. You have been watching a lot recently. Just know that I really appreciate you for all the love. Show some love to Serena down below. Same thing to Lexi, Lexy. Lexi with a 10 says, I'm a huge fan and I want to run for office one day. I really appreciate you and Parker stick up for women. Keep cooking. Well, thank you so much for the love, Lexi, and I wish you the very best of luck in your future endeavors running for office. That is an awesome, awesome goal. Liliana, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal, who says, love from London, love to London, and love to you, Liliana. Thank you for the $20. That is so very kind of you. Show some love to Liliana down below. Robert, thank you for the $10 on PayPal. I'll check my DMs. You got that. You got that. Lucas, thank you so much for the $10. Who says, I don't usually donate to streamers, but I love what you do. Keep it up. P.S. What mic stand do you use? Some random mic stand off of Amazon. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what it's called, but thank you for the love, Lucas. I hope that you're enjoying today's stream, man. And then one last one here from Charlie. Thank you for the $10, who says, just finished watching your live, just finished work and watching your live stream is a highlight of my day. I've been watching you for a while now, and I really appreciate you and everything that you do. Also, give Mama lots of love from the UK, Charlie. I'm happy that the live streams are able to help make your day better. I hear that from so many people, and I love it so much. I'm so happy that what we do here is able to, materially benefit people's day-to-day lives, you know? That's all for now. If you want to support me in the stream and what we do here to allow us to continue to do this for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can support me on Venmo and PayPal, which you can find the links to in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. They're also in the pin message over in that YT stream, and the handle is right there, but I definitely recommend going by the link in the bio. Once again, Caitlin, I appreciate you so much for all your patience. You have been very, very patient today. You have the mic and the floor. I'm not going to interrupt you. Take it away. Just make sure not to say the names of any rogues.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so back to kind of what I was saying prior, I want to start with Venezuela. So Venezuela was teaming up with Colombia to bring drugs into the U.S. through ships. That has been proven, and that's obviously an international or national threat to the U.S. So we've seen a lot of unalivings from things like fentanyl.
Dude.
Can you...
Bro, I'm so sorry. Holy cow. Oh my god. That was so, unintentional from her too. Kelsey, another 10 minutes. I want to talk to you. You know what? Just hop back inside of the queue. I'll risk it for you. There's a chance that it won't get a flag. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Hop back inside of that queue. Whatever. I'll risk it for you. You just can't do it again. You've been waiting so long to talk to me, Kelsey. If you rejoin the queue right now, I'll let you back up. You just gotta follow the TikTok terms of service moving forward. I feel so bad for her. Poor thing, dude. I don't see her in the queue again. I'll take another moment to look here. Also, if you haven't already, make sure that you're sharing out this live with a handful of friends on TikTok. Dropping a like, spamming the likes, dropping a comment as well. Let me know how your day's been so far. Hope you've had a good one. Hope you've had a good one. Yeah, she's not back inside of the queue. I think that maybe she rage quit. Valid rage quit, by the way. Valid rage quit, by the way. Hi, do you support Trump?
Okay. I didn't see the request button. It only shows if there's
Yeah.
someone up for me to push request, so that's why I couldn't push request. I'm sorry.
So
I will not.
Okay, I added you back. Really, I shouldn't have, because I'm kind of risking my own stream here. But I know that you've been waiting a while. You've been very patient. So the mic and the floor are yours. Just
Okay.
if you say the
I
name
will
of
not
any
say
other
the
rugs,
word.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
I
remove
thought
you.
it was just illegal ones. Technically, it's used in hospitals, but okay.
It is literally any rug.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Okay, so let's just say they were bringing rugs over to the U.S., which is a national security threat and can cause unalivings of Americans. And then moving on to Iran, they were chanting unaliving to all Americans, and a lot of extremists within that country. Obviously, Iran was run by a Muslim extremist. Does not believe in people who aren't Muslim, and so they really do hate Americans. And so whenever you have people chanting, unaliving to all Americans, that's obviously, again, a national threat. So I do understand why we had to go over and, either one, put in jail the leader of Venezuela, and then two, I'm still on the fence about what we're doing now. I think our first strike on Iran was justified due to what I said about the rugs. I'm not sure about us, necessarily having to take him out. I'm afraid that this is going to be another boots on the ground, 10 years. I'm definitely against that. But I do think, something to support that I think a lot of people don't think about is a lot of our foreign adversaries like China, Russia, and like Venezuela, Iran, they all work together, right, to give each other, I don't know if I'm trying to think of a word, things of mass destruction. Can you say that?
You could say nukes.
Okay, they trade with each other.
You could say nuclear weapon, but you can't say that.
Okay, they can say nuclear weapon. Okay, I don't know. I don't want to get flagged. So they trade with each other nukes of destruction to one another, as well as oil. And so it is putting America first by trying to take out our adversaries so that they don't have that power, right? We don't want to see those countries, being able to have those nuclear powers and being able to have the oil. So taking them out is, in a way, putting America first. And then also, kind of back to what the last guy said,
no.
crime rates have decreased.
No, one second. I gotta respond to
significantly.
everything that I've heard. Also, I gotta respond to everything that I've heard so far, bro. I don't know how the hell he did it. How did he convince everybody that World War III would be putting America first? Because that's exactly what you just said. You just said taking out our critical enemies is putting America first, like China and Russia. If we were to go to war with China and Russia, it'd be World War III. Caitlin, World War III is not putting America first. Something else I would like to add on here is it seems like you're saying it's justified to take out leaders that say bad things about our country. Death to America. What if a leader said death to our representatives and called for the execution of Republicans and Democrats in Congress? Would it be justified to take them out?
So any country as a whole that is chanting unalivement to our people, I think we have justified as a national threat, and we have justification to take them out, correct?
Yeah, you just classified Donald Trump as a national threat, and you said we'd be justified in taking him out. I'd be careful saying that online. You might get a knock at the door from Secret Service, but I would assume I've done my job here and I've changed your mind. And just for a little bit of background information.
Wait, why would we be justified to take him out?
Oh, yeah, because 10 weeks ago, he called for the execution of Democrats in Congress, taking out our people. The whole thing that you just said would be a national threat that we'd be justified in eliminating. So,
when did he say to unalive Democrats?
Oh, yes.
Can you pull up the source?
Oh, yes. This was 10 weeks ago on Truth Social. Let's just go ahead and take a look. This video shows all the tweets.
The President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, is now demanding the Epstein Examiner title. Democratic veterans in Congress urge service members to refuse unspecified, unlawful orders by saying that this is really bad and dangerous to our country and that their words cannot be allowed to stand. He then followed that up with a second post that reads, "This is seditious behavior punishable by death. And then he reposted a comment that reads, quote unquote, hang them, George Washington would.
So I'm going to go ahead and guess you're no longer a Trump supporter, given the fact that your logic would lead to the conclusion of taking him out, which, by the way, I'm not endorsing. Don't worry about it. That's not me. I'm not endorsing that. Please, for the love of God, I need to make that one explicitly clear. I'm not endorsing that. Chios, go ahead.
Okay, so that is obviously extreme. And I will say one thing that I dislike about Trump is, kind of his behavior and his personality. I think a lot of times he tweets things that are, kind of outrageous. He's definitely not presidential. He's not someone who's like politically facing. Like when you look at someone like Reagan, he was, a lot better at presenting to the people. He's more political. Trump is definitely not that person, but I actually think that's another reason to like him, right? He's not controlled by the deep state. He's not one of these people like Mitch McConnell, who's just a rhino. He's not a lot of Republicans and Democrats, they all work together. They're on the same team. Example, Bushes and Clintons on the same team. Someone like, what's his name? The liberal Bernie Sanders was not part of the deep state. And that's why the liberals gave it to Biden. No one voted for Biden. No one wanted him. Okay. So we're being played by the government. It's really one uniparty versus the people. So when I see someone who's not part of that uniparty, I'm more prone to actually like them and to support them because I know they're not controlled. The country, both sides, Democrats and Republicans, have been trying to take out Trump forever. They tried to unalive him. They tried to get him through the law. They tried all their ways to make sure he couldn't get a seat, and he still got a seat. And I honestly appreciate that. I appreciate someone who is not going to be swayed by this uniparty. So yes, a lot of the, his conduct and the way he speaks, I don't agree with for sure. But I do appreciate that. I genuinely believe that he is trying to do what's best for this country. And I think that's why he has tons of opposition on both sides.
Oh, I see what it is. You're like, you're gunning for Caroline Leavitt's position. You know that she's pregnant. She'll probably step down because of it. And you want to be the new press secretary, right? Like you're like mini Caroline Leavitt in training.
I work in
you just somehow like tried to somehow convince me and everybody else like watching the live stream right now that it's actually a good thing Donald Trump wants to execute his political opponents in Congress. I mean, you're doing great. I gotta hand it to you. But anyways, get on to the counter argument against what you just said. No, it is absolutely not a good thing for the president to be calling for the execution of Democrats in Congress. I think that this is something that we, like I just said, hear from Caroline Leavitt every day, where Donald Trump will call women piggies, ask the military to draft a plan of an invasion of Greenland, say that he wants Democrats in Congress to be publicly hung and executed, illegally hides his name in the Epstein files over 950,000 times, says that he wants a woman that he raped to be thrown in jail, says that it was funny when he sexually exploited the women and girls. And then in response, it's like, oh, that's actually a good thing that he's like a fucking psychotic maniac, because, well, other presidents weren't like explicit psychotic maniacs to the same extent. And this just really shows how he's not controlled opposition. He's not a part of the Uni Party. He doesn't have, the pockets of the deep state and his own. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you made your principle clear. Your principle is that if any other leader of any other country, of any other government, were to call for the death, the execution of our representatives, then it is so bad they lose their right to life. But as soon as our president does it, the most powerful man alive, it's so good, we need to continue supporting him in the Oval. Think about how hypocritical that is.
All right. I understand your point and I appreciate it. The difference is this is an internal person saying things because he's angry and he's just tweeting with rage. He's not thinking before he speaks. The difference is these international countries, which, by the way, we've already seen sleeper cells in the U.S. I live in Austin, Texas. There was I don't know if you can say can you say shooting? Can you say that word? I don't know. Seems strict over here. Can I say shooting? There was a shooting in Austin, Texas, where 3 people were unalived and 14 injured. And the man was wearing an Allah shirt. He had a Quran in his car. What's going to happen is our border was open for so long. We saw 25 million people pour across with this open border. Biden flying people in on planes.
Yeah, you do, dude. Okay, dude, stop it. No, I'm not going to do the Caroline Leavitt thing with you. I'm not going to do the Caroline Leavitt thing with you, where you start talking about how Biden led an invasion of immigrants into the country to completely deflect away from a response to me bringing up the fact that Donald Trump called for the execution of Democrats in Congress. By the way, what is your source that 25 million undocumented immigrants came into America under Biden?
Look it up. That's,
okay, yeah. Well, I mean, actually, that would be your burden.
I don't know if
that would be your burden to give me the.
I don't know.
Well, one second. That would be your burden to give me the source. I don't need to look it up. You need to give me the source, please.
Go ahead. What?
I actually just got to disconnect you. She just got a flag for misinformation. Ah, fuck, Kaylin. That only lasts 10 minutes, so depending on how patient you want to be, feel free to come back in 10 minutes. Like, we've already been through that 2 times. If you want to come back in 10 minutes, I could have you back up. You just got a flag for misinformation. That does expire in 10. But if you are going to come back up, I just want to clarify that what we're not going to do is, like, once again, that whole Caroline Levitt thing, where I'm able to call Donald Trump out on doing something that's clearly bad, and then you try to defend it, but then when I respond and I describe to you how you actually can't defend it, then you just say, well, Biden let a bunch of undocumented immigrants in, right? Like, leave that to the press secretary. All right, it's a very like annoying debate tactic. Feel free, but I'll set you down when you try to. But like I said, you certainly don't have to join back in 10 minutes, but you can if you want. I do understand that you've just already been waiting all day, so I understand if you don't want to. Hi, welcome in. Shop with Pat. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I guess I support the what's going on in Iran.
Yeah, everyone wants to talk about killing children and bloody civil war. No, for sure. I mean, you support it so very much. Would you consider yourself to be a Trump supporter? I don't
support what happened with the school. There's a lot of more information that needs to come out on that, but I don't think they purposely did that.
Yeah. Do you support Trump, though?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Listen. For everyone in the chat saying that Jill's here, she's not in the queue. I would love for Jill to be in the queue, not because I want to debate her again, but just because I have one very simple question for her. Now, to get back to the debate, we've been talking about Iran for the last 2 hours and 35 minutes. I want to talk about something else real quick. How do you think Donald Trump has been for the economy?
Be honest, I just wanted to speak on Iran because that's the only thing I've been keeping up with.
All right, man. Feel free to come back up in like 30 minutes. I'm sorry for doing that, but we've just been talking about it for 2 hours and 35 minutes. I kind of want to talk about something else momentarily. But if you want to talk about Iran, like I could see having a conversation about that in like another 30 minutes. I hope that you understand. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Oh, man, that's really embarrassing. You really shouldn't. He's a terrible president. But before we hop into the debate, do you mind if I take a moment to thank my donors?
Absolutely.
Cool. Thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat, Mr. Logan. Thank you. Logan with the $20 over on Super Chat says, can you shout out my friend Crystal? She turned me onto your streams. I'm so glad that she did because you're awesome. Well, thank you so much, Logan. Let's get to it, our Logan W's down below. And shout out to Crystal. Shout out to Logan and Crystal. Thank you so much. As well as Luna, thank you so much for the 11 euros over on YouTube Super Chat. Who says, by the way, Trump's actions benefit both China and Russia. So much, and 90% of Europeans think that he's Putin's puppet. Absolutely. Does she know that there are Iranian Jews and Muslims in Turkey, like Sharia, where Sharia law is forbidden? Yep. Thank you so much for the 12 euros. As well as Luna, thank you for another 12 euros, who says, learned today that Epstein also fucked up German politics. He and Trump's ex-chief strategist Steve Bannon collaborated to spread the MAGA ideology by becoming an advisor to the ultra-right-wing parties like the AfD. I didn't even know that, Luna. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. I appreciate you for the absolute truth nuke. Over on Venmo, Kenneth, thank you for the $5. Amanda, thank you so much for the $15, who says, I'm curious, would this woman date somebody who's been found guilty of rape, admitted to perpetrating on girls in the Epstein files, etc.? I would hope that the answer to that question is no, but I don't understand why they then follow that by saying I want to date them, but I'd make them president. That's a little insane, right? Yasmin, thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo. Says, I really enjoy your takes. I'm Pashtun American, and Islamophobia isn't new to me, but it's still really wild hearing people confidently argue things they haven't studied. Respect to the patience and composure while you keep steady. Fun watching pressure chip away at egos till arguments unravel. I appreciate you so much for the $15. I'm sorry that you have to experience the Islamophobia, and I'm sure that it's only on the rise in America today because of what's going on. I'd also like to thank Michelle. Thank you so much for the $50 donation over on Venmo. Holy fuck, Michelle. Thank you so much. That is so much money. I'm so very grateful for you. Thank you for the kindness. Thank you for the generosity. I don't deserve a single penny of that. That is so much money, Michelle. Michelle the 50 says, thank you for sharing your knowledge every day. I try my best to keep you guys informed. Thank you so much for the $50 donation. You were awesome, awesome, awesome. I want to see 500 Michelle W's down below. That is so very kind of you. As well as Brittany and Michael. Brittany and Michael, you guys both sent $20 over on Venmo. Thank you both so very, very much. Brittany says, keep it up, man. Real heroes don't always wear capes. Keep calm and keep changing minds. I try my best, Brittany. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then Michael with the 20 says, thank you for speaking up. I will never shut up, man. And thank you for enjoying the stream and sending the $20 donation. It means the world. As well as Phillips. This is the last one on Venmo for now. Thank you for the $20 donation, who says, God bless you. Well, God bless you as well, man. I appreciate you for the $20. Thank you so much, dude. In fact, thank you to everybody. You guys have been so very kind today. And then to quickly catch up over on PayPal, Daphne, thank you so much for the $14, who says, I've been watching you for a long time. Love what you do. It honestly gives me a glimmer of hope in the crazy times we live in. Plus, your voice is very soothing after a long day of craziness. Much love from Canada. Well, much love to you, Daphne, and much love to Canada as well. I'm happy that the streams help give you a glimmer of hope. I hear that from a lot of people. I guess I don't understand why, because we hear the craziest of the crazy from the Trump supporters, but I'm happy that that's the effect nonetheless. Thank you for the $14. And then one last person to thank on PayPal for now, Mr. Harold. Thank you so much for the $20. Who says, ever since I told you I like you getting on the live early to see my like when you're on live early, you moved up to start a couple hours, so we're back to square one. Is that correlation or causality? Well, it's correlation, man, but I do enjoy going live earlier because it gives me more daylight to have fun. And with that, we are all caught up. If you guys do want to support me, you could find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in the bio on my TikTok account. Best way to support me is right over there. You could also find them in the pinned message on that YT stream, and the handle is right there on the top of the phone screen as well. Thank you guys so much for all the love. Now, Mr. Burnt Popcorn. One of those donations said, and I quote, do you think that this lady would date an adjudicated rapist who's openly admitted to perving on little girls? And clearly she's gone, but I kind of want to ask that question to you. If you had a daughter, would you be okay with your daughter's dating a man who's been held civilly liable for raping a woman, has openly boasted about sexually exploiting the naked bodies of women and girls by barging into their dressing rooms, sexualized a 10-year-old girl, hit on his own daughter? Would you ever be okay with your daughter dating a man like that?
If it's somebody like we see here with Trump that has been targeted by his political opponents and the lawfare being implemented on him, yes, I would be okay with that. Absolutely, 100%. Bro, would you not be okay with that?
Wow. Okay, so first and foremost,
did that fly over your head, or?
No, don't worry. I digested every word.
Okay.
So first and foremost, I brought up a handful of things. I brought up the grape case. I brought up him admitting to sexual exploitation. One moment. I brought up the grape case. I brought up him admitting to sexual exploitation. I brought up him hitting on a 10-year-old girl and hitting on his own daughter. And in response, you said, with somebody like Trump who's been targeted by lawfare, I would be okay with it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because
the only thing I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Popcorn. Shut your mouth. Seenie Weenie, thank you for the galaxy. So first and foremost,
you be respectful,
hey,
son.
Popcorn, shut your mouth, son. Thank you. So first and foremost, the lawfare response could only possibly apply to the first one of the four things I brought up. Clearly the case wasn't lawfare, but even if it was, you're still telling me that you'd be okay with your daughter dating a man who has openly boasted about sexually exploiting the naked bodies of little girls by barging into their dressing rooms, has hit on a 10-year-old girl, and has sexualized his own daughter. Why would you be okay with your daughter dating a man who's openly boasted about sexually exploiting the naked bodies of little girls by barging into their dressing rooms, has sexualized a 10-year-old girl, and hit on his own daughter? Tell us.
So I can pick you absolutely apart right now if you take it step by step. So let's go with your lie number one, that Trump bragged about barging into the locker room full of underage women. Can you prove that?
Yes.
And I would like actual evidence.
Yeah, I can prove that he did this to women.
I'll tell you what, if you can prove that, I'll donate you $1,000 right now.
Oh, this is easy as hell, man. I'm about to be 1K richer. Dear God.
Yeah, so let's see it. And then if not, I want you to admit that you suck at debating.
Sure. Yeah, that's a fair bet. If I could prove it, you owe me $1,000. If I can't prove it, I gotta admit I suck at debating. Sound good?
Yep.
Dude, so free, man. I'm about to be $1,000 richer. Here, one more.
And the fact that
you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
First, the first data point to prove this is the clip that you just listened to of Donald Trump sitting down with Howard Stern on his radio show in 2005, saying that he will just barge into the dressing rooms at these beauty pageants that he owns, and then he'll look at the naked bodies of the people inside. He said they had no clothes on. The second data point of evidence to prove that he did this to girls, because you were specific with your question, is that we've had 7 people from Miss Teen USA, under the age of 18, by the way, speak out and said that this happened to them. The first 3 people would include Mariah Delgado and 3 teens who didn't want their name to be public, who told BuzzFeed that he would barge into their dressing rooms, look at them naked, and say, "Don't worry, ladies, I've seen it all before," alongside Miss Arizona from 1997, Miss Teen USA Arizona from 1997, who said the same thing happened to her, alongside a couple other testimonies. And this testimony is very reliable because it corroborates what he admitted to, alongside it corroborates what the women at the women pageants that he owned said as well. We also had women from Miss USA, like Miss Massachusetts, say that Donald Trump would barge into their dressing rooms as well. So I would expect your response here to be, well, Dean, in the clip, he doesn't say the name of the pageant. In response, I would say that means I think he did it at all of the pageants. And the supporting evidence for the claim that he did it at all of the pageants would be the testimony from the women at Miss USA and the teens at Miss Teen USA. And even if you reject the testimony of the teens, I'd say you're doing so baselessly, not only because they corroborate what he admitted to, but also in denying that he did it to the teens, you're also explicitly stating that he did do it to the women, because it's the only people left that he could have done it to. So therefore, if he did do it to the women, and the girls are saying he did it to them too, and he's saying he did it generally at all the pageants, I think at that point it has been, and it's certainly proven that he did it to the women and the girls. So at this point in time, you owe me $1K. Pay up.
All right, so you did not prove what you claimed. You said that he bragged about going into the locker rooms of underage girls. Again, there is a clear distinction between what he was saying, grown adults back there he can get away with. And, oh, by the way, announce when he goes back there, "Hey, Trump's coming." Okay, now I'm good or whatever. But you made a claim that you cannot back up. And plus those 3 or 4 Miss Teen USAs or whatever, are you familiar with the one that said, no, none of that happened? It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't the way they described it.
Yes, her name is Virginia.
No. Are you talking about the one that unalived?
No, that's the Epstein Virginia. There's another Virginia
okay, got it.
that competed at Miss Teen USA that said it never happened to her.
Right. And so you're taking 2 completely distinct things at 2 completely distinct times of this guy's life, and you're tying them together to say the lie that he barges into the locker rooms of underage girls. Now, you know what you're doing. You know that typically you don't have people like me that call you out and pick apart your words and absolutely dog walk you, just like I did Parker 2 days ago. So I would like for you to go ahead and admit that you suck at debating and that you're a liar.
Well, Burnt Popcorn, here's why you're wrong. So your argument against the notion that he did this to the teens is by stating that in the clip he says he did it to women, not teens. So that's actually not true. At no point in the clip did he ever specify that he only did this at Miss USA.
So why did you make that assertion?
I let you finish. Are you going to let me finish?
Yeah, go ahead. I just want to know why you lied.
Good boy. To get back to what I was saying, Burnt Popcorn, you said in refutation of my claim that he did this to teens, that in the clip he says he did it to the women. In the clip, he never specified what pageant he did this at. He never said Miss USA. And the reason why we are justified in believing that he did this to the women at Miss USA and the teens at Miss Teen USA is because, point number one, in the clip he never specified what pageant, giving us more reason to believe that he generally did it at multiple pageants. And point number two, the women and girls from the different pageants all gave the same consistent testimony that it happened to all of them. And then your sub-refutation against the testimony of the teens at Miss Teen USA was to bring up the one person who also competed at Miss Teen USA in 1997, Virginia, who said it never happened to her, that actually would be expected given that it is true he actually did it to the other teens. Because he owned 3 pageants for like 25 years. There's no way that he could have sexually exploited every woman and every teen at every pageant every year. We would expect him to do this to some women and girls while not doing it to other women and girls. So surely, operating under the assertion that it is true he did this, some women and girls would have the story that this happened to them, and other women and girls would have the story that this didn't happen to them. So that actually doesn't contradict what I'm attempting to prove here. It only further corroborates it. Pay up. 1K.
Right. Yep. So again, I'm waiting for you to admit that you lied and that you suck at debating. Because if I take your logic, then let's go back to 2004. Do you remember the 60-minute hit piece that they did on George Bush in 2004 when he was running against John Kerry? Do you remember that? Or well, no, you were probably.
I was born in 2004, so I probably wasn't born yet.
Okay, got it. So what we learned from that was that these journalists or so-called journalists and media outlets will go out there and try to convince people, as we've seen in 2004 and other cases, where they go out and try to find dirt and even at times create dirt and create stories and push people to say certain things. We know that our journalists here in America do that. Not all of them, but a good portion of them. We know that mainstream media like Fox News, CNN, MSNBC.
Heather, thank you for the $10 on Venmo saying 1/100th of what you definitely won't pay. So real, Heather, thank you for the 10. Go ahead.
Yep. So, by the way, Heather, you can pay me too. So,
no,
so,
she's going to give me money, not you. Stay mad.
Right. If I applied your logic, then I would say that it is absolutely viable that the journalists or so-called journalists that went out there and made contact with these girls pressured them into saying certain things. And so that's why I say Donald Trump is absolutely innocent. So
okay, if the
that's
journalists
using your
them
logic.
Okay,
it's
first and
silly,
foremost,
it's dumb.
First and foremost, what is your evidence that the journalists pressured
logic.
them into saying the particular things? And wouldn't the fact that one of the girls said it didn't happen to her indicate that it is likely false that they pressured them into saying particular things? Because if it was true that they pressured them into saying particular things and then only took their testimony given that they said those particular things, that we wouldn't know one of the girls said it never happened?
Right, but your initial claim was Donald Trump is on tape bragging. Well, I can't remember if you said on tape, but Donald Trump bragged about going into locker rooms with underage girls, and I said you are a liar, and you said no.
And then I proved that I'm not a liar.
And nowhere in the video did he say anything about underage girls or applied or insinuated underage girls.
That's where the testimony from the teens comes. That's relevant. The testimony from the teens is what comes relevant. So listen,
but you're adding stuff to the story.
I'm actually not adding anything to the story. So if I were on clip,
you just added to the story. Dude.
I could explain how it's not true. You're just dumb, so I have to explain it like you're 5, and I can do that for you. I really can, Popcorn.
No, I don't think you want to compare resumes, son. You don't want to do that.
No, I think I actually would like to do that.
I'm beating you at your own game.
His resume is gonna be better than yours.
I am beating you at your own game.
Well, I mean, just because you say something certainly doesn't make it true, Popcorn.
I mean, it is, and the same applies to you. Just because you add words to what Trump did or somebody said Trump did does not mean it's true. You're a liar.
That's not what I'm doing, and I'm just waiting to have the mic.
Now, do you want to pick another topic? Do you want to go into Iran? I can dog walk you when it comes to Iran as well.
Okay, so you actually want to run away from this topic because you know you're losing?
What? No, dude, I just dog walked you and you keep doubling down. You got proven wrong. Deal with it.
The thing is if I have the microphone, I could describe to you how I was not dog walked, but clearly you don't want me to have the mic because you're scared of me proving you wrong. All right.
I mean, you've had 10 minutes to prove me wrong and doing a piss poor job. That's why you brought the boy up. But maybe the two of you combined
right now, and you got dog walked by me. You didn't have enough getting dog walked by me alone.
Yeah, I know Parker. He's like a masochist, has a kink for embarrassment. Dude, hey, Popcorn, do you mind if I grab the mic to you to describe to you why your counter argument was insufficient in demonstrating that I lied?
Yeah, go ahead, son.
All right, appreciate that, son. Anyways, first and foremost, you said, Dean, I bet you wouldn't want to compare resumes. I absolutely would. I bet my resume at 21 is significantly better than the resume over your 75 years of life, Mr. Popcorn. Pretty embarrassing.
I'm 46
right?
from the great state of Georgia. Previous Democrat turned Republican in the mid-2000s, voted for Trump 5 times.
I'm actually genuinely surprised.
Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised too. I guess you sound a bit older. But anyways, here's a counter argument.
I mean, I've been through hell.
Ultimately, your argument
there... That's what 4 tours in Iraq does to you.
All right. So ultimately, your argument there is that I lied because I said he was bragging about this in the clip. But then when we listen to the clip, it says nothing about him doing this to underage girls, right?
So why would you make that claim?
Right. So that is your argument. I just want to make sure that I'm correctly representing your argument.
No, I just wanted to correct your statement that was false in saying that he bragged about going into the dressing rooms of underage girls.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that your quote
Yep.
unquote correction, your like counter argument against the notion that he did that was saying that he never specified in the clip that he did it to minors, right?
Waiting.
I'm waiting for you to tell me if that was or wasn't.
So you said he is on tape bragging about something, and I want you to prove it. You try to prove it. You can't prove it. It doesn't exist. So.
Dude, answer my question, please. I'm trying to see if I'm correctly representing your argument. Am I correctly representing your argument by saying that you are saying that I'm wrong? Because when we listened to that clip, he never said minors.
Correct. Like you said, he said. So, yes.
Perfect. Here's the question. If I was to tell you right now that I went to the store and I bought a steak, and then you were to ask 5 people that worked at my local city market if I went to that store and bought a steak, and they said yes, and then you asked 5 people at the Walmart if I went to that store and bought a steak, and they said no, and City Market and Walmart are the only 2 places I could get a steak in my town, would you be correct in saying that on live I was telling you I was bragging about buying a steak from City Market, even though I never explicitly stated that the name of the store was City Market in the clip, but that was rather later confirmed through talking to the employees at City Market?
Dude, that's a lot of what ifs. That's a huge, massive stretch, but I would say it depends. Maybe they went to the store to get Pringles and then just happened to get steak. I don't know.
He can't track. Did anyone else like?
You can't ask.
I just want to clarify. One moment, Popcorn. I'm going to put you on mute here. For everyone else watching, was that confusing? If it was confusing, I could try to find a less confusing way to word it. But what I just said, did it make sense? Yes or no? I just want to know.
No sense at all, Dean.
Yeah,
no
it was too much in there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Some people are saying yes. Some people are saying no. Okay. Because a lot of people are saying no, then I could try to find like a better way to word it. That's fine. Okay. That's fine. Let me try to find a better way to word it. So if I was caught on tape bragging about going to a store and buying a steak, okay, and then some journalists went to all the stores in my area, and the only store that said they saw me go into their store and buy a steak was City Market, would it be true if one were to say that in that clip I was bragging about buying a steak from City Market, even though in that clip I didn't say City Market, I only said store?
I was on mute. I guess I would have to read the context. I don't know. I mean, that's still a shit ton of what ifs. I don't get the point. Why do you guys do this? Right. It's like you guys develop these crazy stories like going through time and all this stuff. And what if I could go back in time and unalive Adolf?
One second. I'll show you the point, Popcorn. It's actually really relevant.
It's crazy
because
talk, man.
I understand that in the clip of Donald Trump boasting about going into the dressing rooms and like looking at the naked people, he never says that they were minors. He never says that they were adults. He never says it was Miss Teen USA. He never says it was Miss USA. Therefore, I also kind of understand to a certain level your counter argument here. Dean, you're lying when you're saying he was bragging about doing it to minors in the clip because he never said that in the clip. But where the nuance comes in is, well, he did it to the minors. And in the clip, he was talking about doing it to people, never specified if they're minors or not. But because we know he did it to the minors, therefore, that was the experience that he was relaying and he was bragging about in the clip, regardless if he said minors or not.
I completely disagree. I think, again, this goes back to your statement. You said that he is bragging about going into dressing rooms with underage girls.
That was the experience that he was referring to when he was bragging.
Underage girls part, I would have agreed with you. Yes, he is.
The reason why that statement is true is because that was the experience that he was relaying when he was bragging about it to Howard Stern.
So, again, that wasn't your claim.
Yes, that was. My claim was in the clip he was bragging about barging into the dressing rooms of naked women and girls.
No, that wasn't your claim. You said of underage girls.
Yes, that was just what I said. Yes. Wait. We just said the same thing. Wait, we just said the same.
You and Parker.
Popcorn. What you just said is what I said. We just said the same thing.
Bro.
I'm not getting dog walk. We just agreed on what I said.
No, we did not agree.
Are we going to get paid?
You're a liar.
Are we getting paid now? I'm getting $1,000 too. Let's go.
I know.
Words have meaning. Words have meaning.
Popcorn. I'm literally.
You
can't even prove when we lie.
Popcorn.
You just owe us money.
I'm literally telling you that what you just said about what I said earlier is true. I did say that Donald Trump. One moment. I did say that Donald Trump was bragging about barging into the dressing rooms of minors. I just also said that he's bragging about barging into the dressing rooms of women. One way or another, it doesn't matter, because I did say that he was bragging about barging into the dressing rooms of minors. And I've proven that. Because he went on Howard Stern's radio show.
Not proven that.
Well, one second,
And you've not proven that.
He went on Howard Stern's radio show. He was bragging about barging into the dressing room of someone. We asked the minors if he did it to them. He said yes. Therefore, he was bragging about barging into the dressing rooms of the minors. Just to be clear, for everybody watching, is my position on this clear? All right?
No.
Is my position... In the clip, he was bragging about barging into the dressing room of someone. We asked a shit ton of minors if he did it to them. They all say yes. Okay. Therefore, in the clip, he was bragging about barging into the dressing rooms of minors. So free! You owe me a band. Venmo, PayPal, Linktree in bio.
Right, but you would agree that... Well, no, I'm not going to play your game. I'm not going to go down
me too. Are you going to send it to me? Venmo, PayPal, Linktree in the bio.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for Dean to live up to his side of the deal. Dean, you made a claim.
And I proved it right! Get fucked, Popcorn! You got dunked on! You got generationally dunked on. Your bloodline is cursed because of how badly you got dunked on. Says the guy without a counter argument. 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 You got dunked on.
Wow. You got
silence, gagged, get cooked. Says the guy without a counter argument. I'm gonna say that every single time you say I got cooked, I'm gonna say says the guy without a counter argument.
You got cooked.
Says the guy without a counter argument.
Where's the grand?
Where's the
grand?
Says the guy without a counter argument.
In the bio. Where's the grand?
Yeah, where's the grand, buddy?
Dude, you guys.
Says the guy without a counter argument. Yeah. Says the guy without a counter argument. Says the guy without a counter argument. Says the guy that didn't prove it. Says the guy without a counter argument.
Yes or no? Did you backtrack?
No, I did not. Says the guy without a counter argument.
You didn't backtrack at all.
Says the guy, yeah, I didn't backtrack at all. Says the guy with no counter argument.
And yo, Popcorn, where's the money, bro?
Yeah, where's your money, bro?
You guys lost.
Nope, says the guy without a counter argument. Says the guy without a counter argument.
The bio, where's the money,
bro? He's crashing so hard. Popcorn, stop, bro. Stop crashing. You got cooked. Popcorn, you stop crashing. You got cooked. The argument is, in the clip, he was bragging about barging into the dressing rooms of someone. Yes, all the teens, if he did this to them, they say yes. Therefore, he was bragging about barging into the dressing rooms of teens. That's the argument. What's your refutation? I don't know what to tell you. What's the refutation to the argument?
Dean, be a man, grow up, take the L.
Well, what L? You haven't even given a counter argument.
Dude, you lied.
You can't prove that. You can't prove that because you don't have a counter argument.
Okay, then play back your video. When you first brought me up, play back the lie that you said on your live.
Oh, hey, bro, pay up, bro. Where's the money?
What was the lie?
You lied, and
what was the lie? What was the lie? What was the lie?
You said Donald Trump is caught on tape saying that or bragging about entering the locker room of underage girls. He never did
I did say that. I did say that. I did say that. Here's the argument. He went on Howard Stern's radio show. He bragged about barging into the dressing room of someone. Journalists asked all of the teens if he did this to them. They all say yes. Therefore, in the clip, he was bragging about barging into the dressing room of minors. There's the argument. What's the counter argument?
The counter argument is your word for word was that he's bragging and he's not bragging. He was not bragging about entering the room.
Oh, yeah. Once again, I'll go to give it to you one more time. Now, the argument that he was bragging about barging into the dressing rooms of teens is that he sat down with Howard Stern, bragged about barging into the dressing rooms of someone. Journalists asked all of the teens if he did it to them. They all say yes. Therefore, the conclusion is, okay, he bragged about barging into the dressing rooms of teens. There's the argument. What's the counter argument? Do you have one? I don't think you have one because I just think that you're stuck on repeat. Gene, your first claim was saying that he bragged about barging into the dressing room of teens. He didn't say that. And you're just completely ignoring the nuance here of the argument I'm purporting, which is he bragged about barging into the dressing rooms of someone. We asked the teams if he went into their dressing rooms. They said yes. Therefore, in the clip, he was bragging about barging into the dressing rooms of the teens. There is the argument. What is the counter argument, buddy? You owe me $1,000. I understand what it's like to lose the debate. Just kidding. I don't because it's never happened to me.
Has there been any women at all that has said in the past at any pageant that Donald Trump has entered the locker room? Not teens, but adults.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Thank you.
What does that refute?
Absolutely demolishes your
How so?
point. How so? Because they're adults, and that's who he was referring to. He was referring to those adults. So those adults that you just agreed to.
Wait. If he only wanted to brag about doing this to a subsection of the overall total group of people that he did this to, then he would have made it explicitly clear. That's the thing. So imagine. So here's the thing. Imagine that I'm the president of America and I've started a new war with both China and Russia. Okay? And then on tape, I'm like, I'm so proud of the wars I've started. Okay, clearly I'd be bragging about starting the war with both China and Russia. In order for me to only be bragging about the war I started with only China, okay, then I'd have to say, I'm so happy with the war I started with China. Okay, that would be the only circumstance in which I would be bragging about only one of the 2 wars that I've started. Okay, so therefore in this clip when Donald Trump is like, I would walk into their dressing rooms and look at them, okay, and he's done this to both women and girls, he was bragging about doing it to both women and girls. Because we know that he's done it to both women and girls. For him to only brag about doing it to the women and not brag about doing it to the girls, he'd have to say, I did this at Miss USA to the women and women only. But that's not what happened, Popcorn. You got cook, you owe me 1 band. Karen, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo, who says Popcorn is a perfect example of cognitive dissonance. He's devoid of logic. Couldn't agree with you more. Let's get a billion Karen W's. Jada with the $2. I appreciate you so much. He also insinuates in the clip he's done this multiple times. Yup. Cassandra, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, who says you've burnt popcorn. Thank you for what you do. I appreciate you so much for the love, Cassandra. Black Cat, thank you for the $5. Ashley, thank you for the $10, who says if you went for a run and other people also saw you walking, but you didn't say you walked, does that mean you only ran? Right. Thank you for the $10, Ashley. Tara with the $10, who says here's my contribution to what burnt popcorn owes ya. Only $980 to go. Michelle with the $5 says keep burning the popcorn. And then another Michael with the $5 as well. I appreciate you so much for the love. You owe me $980, buddy. I need you to pay up right now. $980. Catherine, thank you so much for the $26 donation over on PayPal. Thank you so much. That is Catherine with a K. Catherine with a K says 77-year-old grandma still listening. Love listening. As a survivor of SA, thank you so much for your unwavering support for women and girls. It means a lot. Oh, thank you so much for the support, Catherine. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I really hope that you're enjoying today's stream. Let's show some love to Catherine down below in that chat for the $26. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much. Jose, thank you for the $6. A, thank you for the $6. Then Christopher with the $5 as well. As well over on Super Chat, Caitlin, thank you for the $5. If you're watching and you want to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. They're also in the pin message over on YouTube, but the handle is at the top of the phone screen on TikTok as well. However, I would definitely push you to use a link because then you know it's me and it's not like a scammer. Now, Burnt Popcorn, you have had 2 people send $10 to help cover your bill of the $1,000 that you owe me. So as it stands, you owe me $980. Yeah. In fact, can we please drop the Venmo and PayPal in the chat just so
he owes me $1,000 too. Yo, Popcorn, you owe me $1,000 too.
You know what? I don't know why, but he does. He absolutely owes Parker $1,000 too. Send me and Parker $1,000.
He literally said, Parker, you're in it too. And I was like, okay.
Yes, I did. I did extend that offer to you. But, man, you got some broke people watching you, Dean. Yesterday, Parker got $500 donation, and all you're getting is 10 and 20s. Sounds like you got some cheapskates down here watching your lives. Do I need to show them how it's done?
That there was probably a mistake for you to say that.
I want to see $500, or you guys are just cheap people. And
listen, I know from your perspective, you're saying that because you don't expect somebody to actually do it. But I wouldn't rely on the expectation.
Well, they did it yesterday. Of course, I'm expecting.
If I were you, I would just drop it.
Now, do you want to go on to Iran? Since you got
listen, if
the Trump thing?
Right, no, because I want you to send me my $1,000. I want you to send Parker his $1,000. But I'd seriously recommend like dropping it as it would relate to calling the donors broke.
Okay. Well, if you can find a video.
Kimberly, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Says amazing. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much for the love, Kimberly. And then Nicole, I appreciate you so much for the $2 as well. Thank you so much for the love, Nicole. Lexi, thank you so much for the $5 over on PayPal. I appreciate you so much. I'd really drop that.
I want to see 500.
It's just not a good idea for you to say that. I would drop that if I was you. Can you please send me and Parker $1,000?
Yeah, I will once you show that video of Trump admitting that. Thank you. Next, let's go to Iran.
I've already proven that that's what the. I've already proven that that's what.
Right, you've proven nothing, but you're a liar. That's all.
Okay, but your only counter argument is nuh-uh.
No. So your counter argument is, hey, let's take these 2 separate events from 2 separate entities. One's not even Trump, and then the other is Trump. Yeah, dude. You got dog walk.
Cassandra, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo, saying another 10, keep up the grift. Thank you so much for the love, Cassandra. Let's get 100 Cassandra W's down below. Go ahead.
But anyway, let's talk about Iran. Let me dog walk.
Parker, what are your thoughts? I mean, Parker, do you want to hop in here at all? Paris, thank you for the galaxy. Parker, what are your thoughts? Isn't this guy just clearly saying nuh-uh in response to the argument I'm providing?
Yeah, he's provided no argument. He did the same thing with me where he doesn't actually provide an argument and then he just says he's dog walking you. And I'm like, okay, then actually engage intellectually with the point or try to disprove the point instead of just saying nuh-uh. That's not a valid argument. Nuh-uh is not an actual position.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Brady, thank you so much for the $100 donation over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Brady. I want to see 1,000 Brady W's down below in that chat. Thank you so much for that love, Brady. Thank you so much, man. I want to see 1,000 Brady W's, bro. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the support. Let's get 1,000 Brady W's down below. Reading Brady's message here. Brady says, how is $100 for you, Popcorn? Am I broke? Would you like to answer Brady's question?
Yes, I asked for 500, not 100.
Oh, so Brady's broke because he's in $100?
I got 500 for Parker yesterday.
So wait, can you send me $500?
He owes us $1,000 each.
I'm saying I got somebody that
better give us
Parker
$1,000 right now.
Yesterday.
And Popcorn, you didn't get me shit.
I got you that 500. You didn't get it on
you
your
didn't. Nope, that was not you.
You're welcome.
No.
Also, Parker, I bet you $1,000.
Popcorn. Nuh-uh.
I bet you another $1,000.
Popcorn,
for the
you got
exact
cooked.
phrase,
don't uphold this one.
For
Give me
nuh-uh.
the $1,000. Maybe I'll think about it.
If at any point during our live yesterday I said nuh-uh, I'll donate you $500 right now.
You're already not upholding this one, so why would I take another one after?
Because you got cooked and you're a liar. Because I'm calling you out, you're a liar. I don't even use that term.
You're the one that lied and said you'd send the grand and didn't do it.
I say no or fuck no. I don't say nuh-uh.
Well, obviously the nuh-uh is literally supposed to be like an exaggeration of you saying no as your argument.
You're a liar, disingenuous person too. Now let's talk about Iran.
That's not a lie. What are you talking about?
You just lied and said I kept saying nuh-uh. I don't even use that term.
The point of that term specifically was to identify that you were disagreeing and just disagreeing by saying no. Like that's all the point is trying to demonstrate.
He left.
Look, he just ran away.
Does he usually run?
Yeah, he does usually run.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that's what happened to us last time is he ran away.
I just feel like somebody of his type that acts like that would be less likely to run because they know that it makes him look bad.
They don't care about that. There's no way at this point. They've been dog walked by me repeatedly.
Oh, never mind. He's back in the queue. It looks like he accidentally left. Feel free to get back in that queue. You meet, you lose. What happened, Popcorn?
You guys muted me. I tried to unmute and then it just. I guess I clicked the wrong button. I don't know.
Well, Popcorn, can I just tell you something real quick? Sharon, thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Sharon. I appreciate the $50.
Anyway, so what
Shelby, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for the love. Let's get to it. Shelby W. Shelby with the 20 says, and I quote, says the guy with no counter argument. Why did I let that go? I mean, yeah, bro, says the guy with no counter argument. He can't refute the argument I gave him. Really embarrassing. Thank you for the $20, Shelby. Go ahead.
Yep.
DW, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo as well. DW with the $20 says, glad to be a long-time listener. I use your streams as background of my gaming. Happy to see you competently debating these fools. I really appreciate you so much for the $20, DW. Show some love to DW down below in that chat. Show some love to DW and Shelby. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Kelsey, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. That is K-E-L-S-E-Y. Dude, be quiet, Popcorn. It's so rude of you to interrupt me. Thank you, my donors. Kelsey with a $50 says, here's my contribution towards this nonsense. This guy reminds me of my dad. Definitely not tracking. Keep cooking him. It's cathartic to watch. I appreciate you so much for the love, Kelsey. Thank you. As well as, dude, that is honestly so insane. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you for the $50. Luna, thank you for the 12 euros over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for that support, Luna. Thank you for the 10 Canadian dollars. Contaminated Bees, who says, still curious on what he could be inspecting in a dressing room by ladies who have done pageant years. Why would he go into the dressing room and not the green room, right? Well, it's because he was looking at their naked bodies. You don't need to be curious about it because you know that's exactly what he was fucking doing. Thank you for the $50, Kelsey. Thank you guys so much for all the love. I really appreciate y'all so much. Let's get about 1 billion big boobs in the comment section for all the donors. Go ahead.
Are you pivoting or crashing out or?
Whoa, I'm not pivoting. I'm not pivoting.
No, not at all. Not at all, Popcorn.
Okay, well, let's get back to the substance. Parker made a claim.
Popcorn, the point that we're trying to get to you is Olive, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Lexi, thank you for the $5 as well. And Lexi, thank you for the $2. Thank you so much. That's the point we're trying to get to you.
Dude,
Okay, so you guys,
this is just like literal rage bait. I feel
so
like
this
it's
is you
deserved, though.
guys conceding. I got it. I get
No,
it
wait,
now.
how are we
Oh, it's
conceding?
$1,000, bro.
Wait,
you owe
1
me
second.
$1,000 right now. Send it, bro.
It
Where's
is
the
you
money?
conceding. I would love to debate because it's really hard to
How
find
are we
debates on
conceding
TikTok
by
because-
thanking people for donations? You sick fuck.
Right. So, I mean, I figured that you guys were the last two
Oh my
guys on
god,
TikTok that actually had debates.
Catalina! Thank you so much for the $150 donation on PayPal. That is CATALINA. I want to see 2,000 Catalina W's down below in the comment section. Catalina, that is so insanely kind of you. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for supporting the stream. Thank you for supporting what we do here. That is awesome. Catalina with a 150, and this is actually a really good question, says, Popcorn, I want you to listen to this. Catalina once again with a 150 says, hey, Popcorn, you said I'd agree that it happened to women. So then why the fuck do you still support him? It definitely happened to minors, but it should never happen at all. So what is your point to that? You're welcome, Dean, and pay up Popcorn. Thank you so much for the love, Catalina. And this is actually a great message here because that was a question that I wanted to inevitably get around to asking him. I was just kind of putting it on the back burner until we found the natural point in discussion to bring it up. But you just brought it up, and now we're going to put that front center on the main stage here. So Popcorn, why don't you go ahead and respond to her question where she's saying you agreed that Donald Trump sexually exploited the naked women at Miss USA. So how the hell could you still support such a terrible predator as president, given the fact that you accept that he did sexually exploit women, and then he went on a radio show to say that it was funny and to talk about how good their boobs looked?
Right, I will once you concede the point that Parker was trying to make, in which he lied. So
yeah, sure, I concede. Go ahead.
You guys love to.
Yeah, I concede. I concede. Go ahead and address Catalina's question.
Okay, so I want Parker to concede that he was
Yeah, just
wrong
say that
and
you concede,
lied.
Parker.
No, he owes me my $1,000.
Oh, just say that you concede real quick.
Dude, you get your grant. Now, again, I'll give you $500 more if you show me or tell me what I had no response to your point yesterday.
There you go. We both conceded. Now answer Catalina's question, please, and thank you.
Awesome.
Please answer Catalina's question once again. Yep, we both conceded.
Parker?
Yes, we both conceded. So once again, Catalina's question is, you said that you agreed that it happened to women, so why the hell do you still support him as president? Once again, Mr. Popcorn, you agree that Donald Trump sexually exploited the naked bodies of women, and then he went on a radio show to say that their boobs looked great and that it was so funny. So please answer the question. How the hell can you still support such a terrible sexual predator as president?
Right, because you can enter a room and not sexually exploit women.
Oh, but that's what happened.
Thank you.
Because would you agree that sexual exploitation?
I mean, that's your
would
opinion,
include-
but that's not what happened. So,
Would you agree that the definition
so
of sexual
Parker, back to you.
Would
Are
you agree
running
that the
from me,
definition
Parker?
of sexual exploitation is to unjustly take advantage of somebody
The
sexually?
two big bad guys.
Would you agree
on
that the
TikTok
definition of sexual exploitation is to unjustly
can't
take
debate
advantage
an
of
old
somebody sexually?
46-year-old guy?
Would you agree that the
Georgia.
definition of sexual exploitation is to unjustly take advantage of somebody
Hey,
sexually?
let's get some W's
Would you
down there in the
agree that
comments
the
for
definition of
popcorn.
sexual exploitation is to unjustly take advantage of somebody sexually?
Define unjust.
Yeah, wrongfully.
Define wrongfully.
What,
Doing
doing something that you shouldn't do?
I mean, do you need
sorry,
help, Park? You want to help him out?
No,
Come on,
I can
Dean.
answer the,
Keep
I can
up,
answer the
son. I'm
question.
46. You're half my
Wrongly?
age, and I'm running circles around you. Let's go, Dean.
Okay, so the definition of wrongly would be to do something.
Dean, are you looking up what the definition of wrongly is? Is this what you do?
No, I'm just.
You
I was
just get on
confused
here and
by the
crash
question
out,
because
ask
most people don't know what it
definitions
is.
that you don't know
So the
the
definition
answer
of
to,
wrongly
and
is to
then
do
you look
something
them
that
up.
shouldn't be done.
Parker, answer the question, son.
The answer, no, answer my. So answer mine
Get
now,
back on
please.
my
The
leash,
definition of wrongly is
Parker.
to do something that shouldn't be done.
Get back on my leash, Parker.
The definition of wrongly is to do something that shouldn't be done.
You've been running from me for
The
months,
definition
Parker.
of wrongly is to do something that shouldn't be done. So answer the question. Can you agree that the definition of sexual exploitation is to wrongly take advantage of somebody sexually?
Depends on the context.
Can you give me an example of wrongly taking advantage of somebody sexually that's not sexual exploitation?
Yes, when you like go into a room and you pull down the pants of an individual and you grab their parts, I guess you could say. I don't know what you can say here on TikTok. Differs from live to live, but I would say that's one example of that. And I know you're going to bring up the E. Jean Carroll, but
Why would that
As
not
we all know,
be sexual exploitation?
E. Jean Carroll, because E. Jean Carroll went above and beyond.
Wait. We're not even. We're not talking. We're not talking about E.G. Carroll. We're not talking about E.G. Carroll. You just said no. We're not talking about E.G. Carroll. I just asked you if the definition of sexual exploitation would be to wrongly take advantage of somebody sexually, and you said no, not all the time. So then I asked you for a circumstance where you are wrongly taking advantage of somebody. Yes, you did, because you said it depends on the context.
Is this what y'all do? Like put words in people's mouth? I never said that.
That's not me taking. That's not me putting words in your mouth. You said it depends on the context. That's what depending on the context means.
So I can tell you, I don't want y'all a lot.
Okay, so now that you agreed, that you said that sexual exploitation isn't always to unjustly take advantage of somebody sexually, because you think there's scenarios where you could unjustly take advantage of somebody sexually without sexually exploiting them, and then you gave me a scenario of like pulling somebody's pants down and grabbing their private parts. Why would it not be sexually exploitive to pull somebody's pants down and grab their private parts?
Right. So if somebody sends you a naked picture of their wife and you see that.
No, answer my question. One second, you're not answering my question, please.
So it depends on the situation. It depends on the context.
I know, but you gave me a situation which you said wasn't sexual exploitation. The situation that you gave was to pull somebody's pants down and grab their private parts. So why is that not sexual exploitation? That's clearly sexually exploitive.
I would say that would fit my definition of sexual exploitation.
Wait, you can't track. You just said like not even moments ago that would be an example of wrongly taking advantage of somebody sexually. That's not sexually exploitive. Yes, that's what I'm arguing. You're arguing otherwise.
But you would agree. All right, so let's ensure that we're both on the same page. You agree that somebody going into a room or dragging somebody into a room or whatever,
bruh, stop
and pulling their pants down and assaulting them, that is sexual exploitation. Is that correct?
Yes, but you said it wasn't. Maybe you misspoke, but you did say it wasn't.
Okay, so that is sexual exploitation.
But you said it wasn't, like less than 2 minutes ago.
Happened to see
wait, popcorn. 2 minutes ago. Popcorn, stop. 2 minutes ago, you said that was not sexual exploitation. Address that.
That what was not sexual exploitation?
Pulling somebody's pants down and grabbing their private parts.
Address that.
You said that wasn't sexual exploitation.
Yes, that is sexual exploitation.
But 2 minutes ago, you said it wasn't sexual exploitation.
I never said that.
How much do you want to bet?
No, I never said that.
How much do you want to bet?
I'll bet you 1,000. Dude, you can't follow a conversation.
$1,000? Let's do it. Okay, but I'm going to go to replay the VOD.
You guys are just cheap. Do you have the...
Listen, wait, stop talking. I'm going to replay the VOD. You're about to owe me $1,000. Okay? Keep in mind, we're betting $1,000 on the claim that you said that wasn't sexual exploitation. Perfect. Let's go to rewind the bet. Agree that the definition of sexual exploitation is to unjustly take advantage of somebody sexually?
Define unjust.
No, I'm just...
answer the question. You've been running for me for
months. The definition is to wrongly take advantage of somebody sexually. That the definition of sexual exploitation is to wrongly take advantage of somebody sexually.
Depends on the context.
Can you give me an example of wrongly taking advantage of somebody sexually that's not sexual exploitation?
Yes, when you go into a room and you pull down the pants of an individual and you grab their parts, I guess you could say. I don't know what you can say here on TikTok. Okay, I get it. I concede. I honestly did not hear that part that you would not consider sexual exploitation. I did not hear that, so I backtracked that statement.
Okay, $1,000, please.
You also still...
But again, I didn't hear you say that. So I was answering the first part of the question. The first part of the question was what I was
bio, buddy. Not the second part of the question. Hey, where's our money?
So I was answering the first part of that question.
Where's our money,
not the second part of that question. So that was my answer. I wasn't answering the second part of your question. Nice try. Now I would like to go to Iran since you guys took the
You owe me $1,000.
Let's talk about Iran. Let me
Wait. You owe me $1,000. You just explained why you owe me $1,000 because you didn't hear the question I asked you.
I never made that claim, though. You said I made that claim. You said I made that claim. I didn't make that claim. I didn't hear the second part of your question. I did not make that claim.
Okay, and that's why you owe me $1,000.
I did not make that claim because you asked a question that had two parts. And I answered the first part of that question.
I don't know what to tell you. Owe me $1,000.
I would never in a million years think that sexually assaulting somebody is not sexual exploitation.
Parker, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Parker?
I was answering the first part of your question. Nice try. And I know that you're reaching now because you're getting dog walked.
My thoughts are that Popcorn needs to pay up and that he's just scared and he just tries to say that we lost every time so that he doesn't have to pay up because he owes us thousands of dollars now. So give me my fucking $1,000, Popcorn, right
now. You guys
now,
haven't landed a single blow. You've not landed a single blow, and I've repeatedly demolished you.
Where's my money?
About Iran. Now let's talk about Iran, and let me educate
Where is my money?
You get it, win, Parker. You lost.
This guy's insane.
You suck at debating, Parker. You suck at debating.
I know that you hate me. Where's my money?
You'll get your money once you prove me wrong. You didn't prove
we already
me wrong,
did.
Parker.
We already did. You're just
getting
coping at this point.
Parker.
Where's my money, bro?
Leash, son.
Cope. All I'm hearing is cope. All I'm hearing is cope.
None of you guys can take me on.
You already have gotten destroyed. How does it feel? You're coping.
Dude, you got smoked. Deep fried. Enjoy it. Let's talk about Iran. Maybe you'll do better there.
The projection is crazy. Dean, what just happened?
Crazy. It is crazy that you guys get up here and spew the absolute nonsense and then just have to run into a guy like me that calls you out.
Where's my money?
Oh my God. Hey, remember when you were like, oh, you guys aren't broke? You can't send a $500 donation?
Did somebody send a $500 finally?
Yeah, and I'm just going to go to kick you. I'm kind of done with you. Anonymous. Anon. Thank you so very much for the $500 donation on PayPal. Holy shit. Bro.
Owes me a grand too. Like he literally made all these bets. He's like, I'm just gonna say no. I'm just gonna say no. It's gonna go away. W-Anon though. W-Anon.
Oh my God, dude. Anon with the $500 says, please don't say my name. You earned this. He didn't. Keep doing the work and fighting for good with sources and good argumentation. Listen. I don't deserve that much money. And that is unfathomably kind of you. Unfathomably kind of you. I'm so grateful for your generosity and your support. Thank you so much for the love. Dude, I want to see so much love. I want to see so many W's for Anon down below in that comment section. Thank you so much for the love and support. Anon with the... Oh, dude, just unreal. All right. Anon, I'm going to send you a personal message. You know that. Thank you so much for the love and support. That is so incredibly kind of you. Show some love to Anon down below in the comment section, folks. There's a handful of other people that I do have to thank real quick. I'm sorry, I'm just like a little bit like starstruck. Holy fuck. I want to see love in the chat for Anon until we end the stream. Thank you so much for the support. That's fucking nuts, dude. That is so much fucking money. Eva, thank you so much for the $13 donation over on PayPal. Eva did attach a message, just sent the love. Thank you so much for the love, Eva. Marley, thank you for the 5. Arthur, thank you so much for the 10. And then Tyler, thank you so much for the $50 donation over on PayPal. Let's get 500 Tyler W's alongside the Anon W's for like the next 30 minutes. Tyler with the $50 says, by the way, this old fuck does understand that Trump is a rapist, right? He just doesn't care because he's similar to Trump's worldview, that looking at little girls isn't even bad. It definitely raises that red flag, Tyler. I definitely agree with you there. Thank you so much for the $50. And then Julian, thank you so much for the $10. Who says, hey, Popcorn, if you're the only person insisting that you might be correct, then you might not be correct, you fucking dumbass. Julian, thank you for the $10 and the truth nuke. Richard, I'd like to thank you as well for the $25 donation, who says, here's $25 because Popcorn is not man enough to pay anything at all. Appreciate you so much for the $25, Richard. Show some love to Richard down below in the comment section. Show some love to all of the donors. Carla, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Says he said conceded, tell him to pay up. No, he wasn't going to pay up. Right now, Popcorn owes Parker $1,000 and he owes me $2,000. Thank you for the $10. And then Melissa, thank you so much for the $10 as well. He says listening to you to try to get this grown-ass man to have the comprehension level of a 13-year-old is wild. I know, right? Thank you for the $10. And then Shannon and Bethany, thank you so much for the $20 as well. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you guys so much for the love. Bethany with the 20 says, I'd rather be a broke donor than a broke guest who can't pay up on my bet. So real. By the way, she's saying that she's a broke donor because that's what Popcorn accused all of the donors of being. Thank you for the $20. And then Shannon, thank you for the $20 as well. He says, always hated the smell of burnt popcorn. Here's a bit towards his bet because he's too broke to do so. Thank you so much for the $20, Shannon. And then Kelsey, thank you so much for the $50 donation. Thank you so much for that love, Kelsey. Actually, I did already thank you early, Brett. I guess I'm going to thank you again. I really appreciate you so much for the love and support. And then Aria with the $20 on Super Chat says, old man, sit down and shut up. Geez, you're such a child. You've been running away from every question and they keep on answering every single one of yours with no problem. Yeah, he's gone now. Dude, he has some problems. I'm not going to lie, Aria. Thank you so much for the $20. You're awesome. All right. Yeah, no, sounds good. We already have the next guest loaded up in here. Parker, I really appreciate you for joining. I always really enjoy co-hosting with you. By the way, I got to use the restroom. So Parker, I'm going to leave you on your own with this guest here for a little bit.
Don't do that to him. Don't do that to him, Dean.
I know it actually is a little bit rude.
I'm gonna beat your boyfriend up for a little bit. All right, just go ahead, go twinkle. Hey, make sure you wipe front to back. All right.
Oh yeah. Is that like the whole like vagina thing? I have a vagina.
What? The
whole like white front to back thing. It's like
whoa. I don't assume people anymore, bro. It's 2026, bro. I don't assume.
What would I be wiping front to back?
Oh, I don't know, man. Maybe I just heard that's the way things go with certain people. So
with what certain people?
I think people that have, what are those called, the genomes or whatever they're called.
What?
Just go to the bathroom.
I know, but like, what do you mean wipe front to back? What am I wiping front to back? Be specific.
Oh gosh, do I gotta describe it to you?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing really like the real thing. I'll let you know that now.
So what am I wiping front to back?
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes
it
you
seems
just
like you kind of lost the conviction.
Sometimes it's stuff you got to grab every once in a while, especially when you got a hot wife. Just this things you just got to grab and just you got to let her know you're there.
But what am I wiping front to back? I'm still confused.
I know you're confused, Parker. I mean, Dean.
So then help me out here. What would I be wiping front to back?
You'll find out one day when you become a big boy.
How about we just find out today? What am I wiping front to back?
No, because I don't want to ruin it for you.
Oh no, ruin it for me. What would I be wiping front to back?
Dean, just go away.
Sure, after you could tell me what I'd be wiping front to back.
I mean, Dean, I'm sure you've had this talk with your old man.
You seem really scared just to say it. Like, say it. What would I be wiping front to back? Say it.
I mean, I'm not. Why would I be scared? What exactly would be the repercussions?
You are scared because you're not saying it. So say it.
No, I'm just.
Okay, so then say it.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say something I don't want to say.
Okay, so then
if that's what you think.
Well, I mean, you're the one that brought up wiping it front to back, so.
Okay, well, Dean, what repercussions would I have of saying said thing? If I don't want to say something, you can't force me to say it.
I don't know. No repercussions, so you haven't already experienced like
you're
break with you, get kicked out of the basement by the mom. But regardless of that, just say it. What would I be wiping
out of the
back?
Basement by mom?
Oh, actually not kicked you out yet. Very surprising.
For saying what?
What would I be wiping front to back?
Just make sure you clean your urine. That's it. Whatever you're.
But like, what would I be wiping front to back? Can you tell?
Whatever you're peeing from, whatever you're urinating from.
Oh wait! But you don't wipe a penis front to back. You wipe a vagina front to back. So
you don't ever clean yourself after you don't clean yourself after you go pee.
Well, we don't describe it by wiping front to back. Nobody with a penis would describe it in such a way.
No.
Hey, Gas, can you tell me what biological anatomy that everyone pees out of?
Excuse me, sir.
What is the biological anatomy called that everyone pees out of?
The biological anatomy that everybody pees from? Like, are you talking what exactly are you talking about? There's a whole system.
What is it called, bro?
There's a whole system.
No, I'm asking you.
It's not just one part. It's not just one part. You can laugh all you want, but it's not just one part.
Do you not know?
Are you talking about your urinary tract? Are you talking about like the actual hole? Are you talking about like what are you talking about?
What do you pee out of? What is it called?
Huh?
What do you pee out of?
What do I pee out of?
Yes. It's not complicated.
Yeah, what's the biological name?
You're asking me what I pee?
What is the biological name of the thing that everybody pees out of?
Your pee hole? Is that
what's the biological name in terms of anatomy?
Well, I mean, this guy pissing shits out his mouth, so maybe that's why he's a little bit.
Is that?
I'm gonna go pee, Parker. You
thing?
just completely fucking fried it.
Yes.
I'll be back.
That he didn't. What the,
Hey, by the way, I just want to let you know the
What
answer to
did
the
that
question.
own?
The answer to the question is urethra. Just to let you know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go pee. I'll be
literally.
back.
I genuinely don't know how he doesn't know the answer to that question. We learned that in elementary school, dude.
Oh, hey, Parker, have you wiped your urethra?
Urethra.
Have you wiped it? Have you wiped it?
You wiped the pee from it. Why are you asking me that question?
So you got a clean urethra? Urethra?
Urethra. I'll tell you.
Urethra?
Urethra.
That is the dumbest. That was such a. Oh, that was the dumbest.
Yeah, you
argument
don't
ever.
even know. You didn't even pay attention in elementary school, bro. Like, what were you trying to say, bro? You just tried to own Dean by trying to be like.
I was trying to be funny.
No, wait, hold up.
And then you guys took it like.
You think it's funny to like say that Dean, for example, has like a vagina? Was that what you were trying to say? Like, that's what you thought was funny, and we're just pointing out how one, you sound stupid. Two, you are stupid. Three, I proved it, and you literally ran right into the trap, buddy. Get cooked.
Okay, Dean or Parker.
Yes, dude, you keep mixing us up. Clearly, you're confused.
Well, because I'm on Dean's live.
Yeah, but you just called him Parker and you called me Dean.
So what do men pee out of?
Everyone pees out of the urethra.
Okay, so what does a man have specifically? Is there any differences in the urethra?
Well, a man is specifically a gendered term, right? It's not necessarily a biological term. So not all men, for example, have the same genitalia. Did they get a flag? Oh, did they leave or did... I gotta wait to ask Dean. Dean, did he get a flag? Oh, okay, makes sense. Because I was like, did he run? What was the flag for?
Harassment and bullying.
Well, he got cooked, so.
Yeah, he got shredded. What did he say that was harassment and bullying? Like, don't repeat it specifically. I just don't know if I could.
I don't know. Maybe it was what he said to you originally. I think that's probably what it was.
Yeah, probably. Oh my god, I'm struggling here. I'm getting used to these in-ear monitors, and they're low-key like a little bit difficult to like put in and out of your ears and to get used to.
I think I had those exact ones, and I didn't like it, and I actually prefer the Apple earbuds.
Really, bro?
The ones that I had that I've just had sitting around.
Really? Oh fuck! I even put them on the wrong way. Yeah, man.
Yeah, because they're harder to put on, and it's like complicated and stuff. I feel like I might like wireless earbuds or something if I could get that connected to my mix amp. I don't know how to do that.
Well, the thing would be, like to either get a wireless pair with like a receiver connected through it to a 3.5 millimeter port that you could plug into the mix amp.
True.
Like that would work. That's something that would work. But it wouldn't be like Bluetooth. Or even like a device that could connect to them via Bluetooth, but it's like a Bluetooth to 3.5 millimeter converter. I'm sure that exists.
I bet.
All right, let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the queue, guys. Only op inside of that box. If you happen to be MAGA, please and thank you. Over on Super Chat, thank you so much, Jonathan, for the $20. Thank you so much, man. Let's get 200 Jonathan W's down below. Thank you so much for your support. Jonathan with a 20 says to the Peen donation, this is the oldest sounding 46-year-old with no soul. Pay up, you POS. I love that energy, Jonathan. Thank you so much for that support. Leslie with a 10 says, why the hell is everybody especially insufferable today? What the hell? I'm pretty sure it's because we're live earlier, so therefore a lot of the Trump supporters that are tuning in aren't just MAGA, but they're also jobless MAGA because it's like during the weekday. So that's probably why. All right, guys, we're going to go to get that next guest loaded up into the queue right now. Because a lot of people like listen in from work. A lot of people that are retired, maybe there's a couple people that aren't working. But then simultaneously, you have the other issue of the fact that like jobless MAGA is probably a little bit more insane than MAGA people with jobs, you know? Roxanne, thank you so much for the $50 donation over on Venmo. Roxanne, that is very, very kind with you. Thank you so much. Please do show some love to Roxanne down below. That is Roxanne. Thank you so much for your support. Roxanne with a 50 says, I can't wait for the next presidential election when you and Parker destroy people on y'all's lives with facts. I also can't wait for the next presidential election. I was actually thinking about that last night. I think that me and Parker are going to have a whole lot of fun advocating for who we would like to win. A lot like we did during the Harris nomination. Thank you so much for the $50, Roxanne. Ivy, thank you so much for the $15. Sent this to Santana. Maybe it will interest you. Okay, I'll take a look at that, Ivy. I'll just have to pull it up on my computer, so I won't be able to read it out loud, but thank you so much for the support. Same thing to Andrew. Thank you for the $10. Who says, why are the Trump supporters so obsessed with what's in between your legs lately, Dean? Oh, probably no. My running theory is that they want to have sex with me. Carla, thank you for the $10 as well. All right, we're all caught up over on Super Chat and Venmo.
Calm down, Jack from Titanic.
Exactly. Then to dispute the claim that they want to have sex with me, they compare me to
Take it easy, Leonardo DiCaprio. Calm down.
Exactly. To dispute the claim that they want to have sex with me, they compare me to prime Leonardo DiCaprio. That's not doing what you think it is.
From Titanic. From Titanic.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna let that point die.
Yeah,
Whatever.
no, I wanted to smack him in the face in that movie too.
Okay. I don't know if that's gonna be caught as like harassment and bullying. I'm just gonna kick you in advance because I don't really like want another flag for that. Colleen, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Who says, I would love to take on popcorn he's cooked. Oh, he's so cooked, Colleen. Thank you for the $10. And then James, thank you so much for the $30 over on PayPal. Let's get 300 James W's down below in that chat. I really appreciate you so much for that support. James with the $30 says, I know another guest mentioned a whiteboard addition to the show. Wholeheartedly agree with this. I wonder if they visually see their own conversation path and they can see how delusional their argument degrades to. Use bright colors and big arrows so that they don't get lost. James, that's actually been something that I've wanted to do forever. Is to have that whiteboard because I think it would be a great tool to use in these conversations to get them to visually track their own argument, as you pointed out. All right, I'm going to try to find a last guest for the stream, by the way, Parker. So this is likely the last guest. I'm at 3 hours and 34 minutes, so if you want to go live, I mean, I'd recommend sticking up for a little bit longer. But I want to find a last guest that's a little bit more chill than everyone else that we've talked to so far today. I think that would be good to find somebody who's
sounds good, bro.
More chill. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Sophia, do you support Trump?
Oh my gosh, can you hear me? I like watching your videos. I do not support Trump, and I did not mean to request.
Oh, you're all good, Sophia. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I think I'm going to be looking for like a MAGA woman. They're usually a lot more chill than MAGA men. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not saying that's true all the times. I'm just saying that there's like a higher propensity for MAGA women to like try to come at it with like a more educated angle. But you know, that only goes so far. That only goes so far. A lot of people in the comment section are saying, chill. Dude. Use your brains. You are actually... I know you're using your brains, and I know that you are intentionally rage baiting me. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. All right, guys, here we go. We got HQ Records joining up. You guys are intentionally rage baiting me.
Okay, I've been here like 2 hours. I need to tell you something.
Do you support
Trump? About Trump. It's about Trump.
Do you support him?
No. Mm-mm.
Hey, HQ Records. Right now, we are just looking for Trump supporters. But if you want to share something, join the Discord. Drop it in there. I'm sure. I don't really have Discord anymore, but if it's important, it'll find its way. It'll find its. It'll find its way back to me. Alexa, do you support Trump?
I want to know if you come to play my house. I have Penguin.
I will not be coming to your house. Contrary to popular belief, I do not visit the houses of random people who join my stream and ask me to come over. Oh, Parker, you're in for it today, brother. You're in for it today, brother.
I feel like it's gonna be brutal today. I feel like guests recently have been wild. I don't know. I'm expecting it to be crazy. Have the flags been crazy today?
Oh, just a couple here and there. Not as bad as yesterday, for sure. Not as bad as yesterday. This just came through. Thank you so much for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. Tori, that is Torey. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Tori. Tori with a 50 says, damn it, I was waiting for Jill so I could call her orange Jesus again. She was super triggered about that. Oh my God, I bet that'd piss her off so much. Tori, thank you for the $50. Next time she's in here, I'll make sure to remind her of that in your name. Thank you so much. Let's get 500 Tori W's. Yeah, I would actually like Jill just to come up for a moment. Not for a debate. I just have something I'd like to ask her about. Confront her about. Hi, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Dean, how is Liv racist? How is she racist? How is she racist? You're throwing around allegations. You're wrong.
Okay, do you know how to... Well, let me just show you this. Can you read these 3 rules for me?
Be 18, be American, and be MAGA. And I'm literally American, bro. I'm from Texas. What are we on about?
Yeah. Band. Dreamweaver, thank you so much for the galaxy. I really appreciate you. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much for the 2 galaxies. Thank you. Moving on to the next guest right now. All right, let's go to get the next guest, Jason, loaded up into the box. Thank you for the 4th galaxy, Dreamweaver. It's very kind of you. Alpha Phoenix, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. He says, I was wondering if you'd ever be interested in talking to people.
I'm dorking it!
Like me, who used to be fans of Fuentes and changed for the better, just to get out that those types of people can change. I actually changed somebody of those types of people. I did. We had him up here a couple weeks ago, and we changed his mind. It's definitely harder for the Fuentes fans of the world to change 110%, but it is certainly possible. Let's go ahead and get that next guest loaded up into the queue right now, folks. Only hop inside of that box if you're MAGA, please and thank you. All right, we got Little Leprechaun loading in. Oh, Momo just left. She's been sitting at my feet all day long, and she just left. Hi, do you support Trump? Okay, your mic sounds like it's from 1785, so I'm going to have to go ahead and move on. Nothing personal, my friend. Not at all. Nothing personal. Yeah, Momo's been at my feet all day. I think my girlfriend just walked into the house, and Momo heard that, so she ran downstairs, but she's been at my feet all day long. Hi, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. What year were you born in?
I was born in 2001.
And how old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, and what month were you born in?
January.
Okay, and why do you happen to support the worst president of your life?
You really think he's the worst?
Yes.
Why do you say he's the worst?
Well, because his character's exceptionally abysmal compared to the other presidents that have served during your life. His policy is exceptionally abysmal compared to the other presidents that have served during your life. And his rhetoric and actions, even outside of policy, is exceptionally abysmal compared to the other presidents that have served during your life. Which is why I'd argue he's the worst president of your life.
Well, I just popped a honey pack. I'm pretty horny right now.
Okay. All right, moving on, dude. Moving on to the next guest. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box. The debate I had yesterday with Lily Tino is starting to make its rounds. Fun fact.
I know. I saw a video with like 100,000 likes.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I mean, I don't really think I've ever seen Lily Tino having, a conversation of that kind so publicly before with anyone. So it's definitely something that I think a lot of people might be interested in, is finally seeing like somebody publicly maybe like call them out on some of their wrongdoings. So I'd assume maybe that's why that's why it's going so viral. Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir, I do.
And how old are you?
26.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to do your very best to moderate and censor your language, try to keep insults to a minimum, try to just keep it pretty PG. I don't really want another flag for harassment and bullying, so if you say or do something that I think could be considered as harassment and bullying by TikTok, I'm just going to remove you.
Oh, also, Dean, I just want to say, you said M, like in reference to like them, and people thought you were saying like him, obviously, when you didn't mean to say that. So I just want to clarify that as well. You meant to say like M in reference to them.
Oh,
when you were
said,
referencing her.
Yeah, I said them. Did it not come across like phonetic?
Some people, I think, in the chat heard otherwise, but obviously, like I heard M, like them. So I just wanted to clarify.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Yeah, I think he's an amazing president.
I appreciate you for making that clarification. Go ahead.
Are you done?
I assume. I guess. Whatever.
Can I talk?
I assume so. I guess. Whatever.
No.
Are you done?
You may now speak.
Parker's so much better at rage baiting the guests than I am. Go ahead. Yeah, you may now speak, as Parker said.
Yeah, so I'm...
Not anymore. Now go ahead. I'm actually done. I'm done.
Okay, so now we're just gonna play games.
I'm just fucking with you, dude. Chill.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. So I think Trump is a good president. I support his policies. I don't support a couple of things that Trump has done. But I definitely think he's definitely the better candidate out of the two. Over Kamala Harris. What pushed me away from Kamala Harris was when she was caught dancing. I thought that was really. I thought that
it's
was
not like
really,
we've ever seen Trump try to do that before.
I thought that was really ghetto. Yeah, there you go, Dean. Bust down. I thought that was really ghetto.
Why are you referring to it as ghetto when she dances?
Oh, Parker, I'll answer that question because she's a black woman.
Yeah, that's really ghetto.
Yeah. Black women dancing is ghetto.
So
white
racist.
men dancing is like funny and strong, right?
No, I think Trump. Has better dance moves than Kamala. I think
when Donald Trump does the whole like jerking off the two guys at the same time move, is that ghetto?
When Kamala tries to shake her black fat ass, is that ghetto?
All right. I don't think I'm going to allow you to talk about Kamala Harris in such a way on my stream, so we're going to move on. Yeah, what a racist. Wow. Let's go to move on to the next guest. That's clearly like super racist. And that's something that, is actually worth calling out. Is that women in politics, especially women that are like black women in politics, they have to jump through so many more hoops and face so much more backlash compared to everyone else. They do, and that's a fact. Those comments would never be made about a white man, and they aren't, because Donald Trump busts down and does his little dance all the time. Those comments would never be made to that extent, even about a white woman, right? We'd still get the misogyny there. Oh, it's like weird shaking her ass when she's trying to dance. That would happen to a white woman. But then it becomes weird shaking her ass, and it's ghetto because she's black. So I think that is something that we unfortunately see all of the time. I think that's something that we unfortunately see all of the time, and it sucks, and it's terrible. So I'm happy that we got him gone. We absolutely kicked him. Now with that, this is actually my bad. We lost access to the queue. Let's see here. We lost access to the guest requests. When is the ban give up? It restores on the 15th for 3 days. We'll likely get the guest request back before that. That's my bad. We just got one too many flags for harassment and bullying from one of the guests. I could have done something about that. I could have reset the live, but I didn't because I just didn't think we'd have another crazy person come up here and say some crazy shit. So that's totally my bad. Chances are I will be able to get that back. Chances are I'm going to submit an appeal and it will be good. So that's fine. I'm not tripping. And we only have around 10 minutes left on the live. So I actually think that we're just going to spend the next 10 minutes doing a Q&A. Hanging out with you guys for 10 minutes. Parker, I bet that you're watching. If you want to go live and start debates, feel free. But if you also alternatively want to call me on Discord and do a Q&A with me for the next 10 minutes, also feel free. It's just completely up to you. And then we'll likely have the account back for tomorrow. So if you want, feel free to ask a question in chat. Alternatively, you could ask a question on Venmo, PayPal. A little bit higher chance that I'd read it off. Gen X Girl, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you. Gen X Girl with the 20 says, I've not been here for a couple days, but the Ghislaine is pronounced like G-Lane. G like Gary. Ghislaine. So pronounce it Ghislaine to be correct. Love your show. Thank you for all that you do. Based, you actually just taught me something new. Thank you. Show some love to Gen X Girl for the $20. I really appreciate you so much for teaching me something new. Story time. All right, we could do a little bit of a story time. What about a story time about Jubilee? So we talked a little bit about this last week, but we're back at it again. We'll talk about it a little bit more now. I flew out to LA to film for Jubilee. It was a 1v1 type style, me versus Emily Wilson. I think that video is going to drop here pretty soon. Can't wait. And this shoot was crazy. First and foremost, I didn't select Emily Wilson. Jubilee selected Emily Wilson. Then I just got the email, hey, Dean, would you like to debate Emily Wilson? And I was like, well, sure. I'll debate Emily Wilson. We sit down for the debate. I know that Emily Wilson is pretty unhinged. We all know this. I've talked to her 2 times before. She's kind of nuts. But it seems like she's only gotten crazier in the last year that I haven't talked to her. And inside of this discussion, I don't know if it will make the cut or not. She was straight up saying that, she wants Donald Trump to be a dictator. And that's not even me, misinterpreting her. That's what she was saying. Because one of my prompts was, Trump wishes he could be a dictator. And her refutation was, I wish he was a dictator, but he's not. And he doesn't wish he could be either. She was calling Putin strong. She said that, Alex Preddy deserved it. She was talking about how we're actually much better off without Alex Preddy. And, in retrospect, clearly a conversation like that is one in which you would reflect on, saying unproductive, shouldn't have happened. But because of the format of the show, I actually think that it was great. Because the format of the show is you can't interrupt the other person. You get a stopwatch with 7 minutes on it. You get to use as much of it as you want, and then you kind of pass the time to the other person to respond, so on and so forth. And because of that, I was able to lead her down the best reductive counter arguments ever and completely exposed her pure stupidity on every single point. And because of that, I actually think it was a net benefit to society. And I can't wait for the video to come out because it's a really good description on how the people who make these claims, that MAGA crazy cult, ultimately do so with no reason, no thought, no brain function whatsoever. And with that, I found it to be really enjoyable. And I can't wait for that video to come out. I can't wait for that video to come out at all. Okay. All right. So Sorcha, thank you so much for the €5 over on YouTube Super Chat. Who says that was me who posted the Lily Tina video. That was really interesting. You did amazing as usual. Thank you so much, Sorcha. Yeah, I saw that. That is you. I've also seen a couple really good edits on your account. You're doing good. Gwim, thank you for the $5 Canadian as well. Thoughts on progressive tax, corporate tax, where corporations are awarded lower tax rates based upon the differential between their lowest and highest paid employees? As long as that doesn't allow for any type of workaround for members of the board or even independent contractors, because I feel like what would happen then is, you know, the highly paid CEOs would no longer be classified as employees or board members. They'd just be classified as independent contractors. Then I actually think that would be a really good idea. Tax cuts for companies that pay their employees more. That's actually not too bad of an idea. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. Really good. Really good. I think that Parker's live, so we might just end a little bit early. Yeah, he's already live doing debates. By the way, guys, expect that Jubilee video to come out like in the next week and a half. That'll be good. That'll be fun. I'm gonna go to an end for the night. Try to get my account back. Only hop inside of that queue if you mega what, dude. I'm actually a bot. I don't even know why I'm saying that. I'm actually a bot. So yeah, go head over to Parker's stream. At Parker Get a Job on TikTok. At Parker Get a Job on YouTube. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you for stopping by the stream and tuning in. Go raid Parker, spam Dean raid, peace and love, good night and goodbye.